We're live now, guys.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Carnival Slayers. My name is Martin J. I'm actually a guest on the show tonight, but it will be my job to introduce you to your host in a very, very short while. But in the meantime, whilst we're here and we're getting ready to get things started, I just want you to share the live and let everybody know that today we are going to be talking soca music. We have a special guest who I believe is currently in Miami. And the reason why I know that is because I spoke to him on Friday, and I shall introduce you to him very, very shortly. As you can see on the screen at the moment, we've got Cam King.
Come on. Good evening, everybody.
Yeah, man. We got Trini Boy Juicy.
Yes, up, man. Good night.
Yeah, he takes a little while to warm up, you know that. That kind of cool. What's up, man? Just now we got Mzati and he got talk thing. White boys in the house. What's going on, King?
Hey, come on. Hey, man, live. Let's go.
DJ Shaker. Well, I think you should remove the DJ now.
Yeah, for real.
Shaker, entrepreneur. You know what I mean? Big respect to you, man. It's nice to have you here. Even I like them. What are those glasses real?
Yeah. I don't have any glasses now, so and just see everything.
So they make you see things differently.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm just
see behind the scenes and everything.
Right. Good. All right. So, Daryl Javay, how are you?
What up? Yo, good. The Bluetooth is off.
Welcome.
How you guys doing?
We're good, man. We're good. Am I to assume that your artist might be in the same vicinity as you?
She is, but I having some technical difficulties here. You had to get
No worries. You sort yourself out. Put yourself on mute. Sort yourself out, Daryl.
All right, cool.
Ready? We're going to come to you. So, ladies and gentlemen, just want to let you know that we want you to share this link. Let everybody know that you're locked in. We're going to be talking soca music. You know, there's a few questions that have been put on the table that we're going to discuss. Whilst we're waiting for everybody to join us, could I ask my guest just to give a little brief introduction as to who they are? And we'll start with Cam because I know he don't like talking.
Yes, guys. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you guys are. Listen, I'm gonna steal the show. I absolutely love talking. I'm nervous. Thanks, Martin. Yeah, my name is Cam King. Love soca music. Been in this soca and carnival scene for a while. I'm a videographer. Massive passion for our culture, and yeah, man, I just try and capture the best visuals for what we're trying to do. And I mean, I'm a massive believer in unity and everything that, we bring. And yeah, carnival to the world, man, in a nutshell.
Big respect. If the conversation between myself and Trini Boy Juicy goes a little bit wayward, that's how we are. Yeah, and I just don't want anyone to think I'm being disrespectful, but he's been my boy for so many years. Trini Boy Juicy, welcome. Just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Bless up, man. Hello to everyone. Multi-award winning UK-based soca artist. One of the Notting Hill Carnival ambassadors. I've been, doing music for the last 11 years. This year would make it 11 years. So touring nationally as well as internationally, promoting soca music. I definitely say I promote UK soca because that's where the origin of my creations come from. And yeah, I am. We are Juicy. Juicy Music is a new brand. The evolution, the growth brand that is now looking at different aspects within the music industry and is a youth engaged, positive cultural hub. You know what I mean? To simply. So that's who I am, and that's what I represent.
Nice one, Juicy. Thank you very much indeed. What I'm going to ask everybody is when you're not talking, just go on mute for me, because whilst you're moving around, don't put your mic on mute on White Boy, because I'm coming to you right now. But I noticed that you were moving around, and I could hear everything whilst you're moving.
My bad. Apologies.
No worries.
I'm not seated. That's why. So I'm a bit like, yo, You know what I mean? I'm not rigid right now, so my bad. Apologies.
It's all good. White boy, tell us all about yourself, man.
Well, I go by the name of White Boy. Obviously, I'm a UK soca artist, but how you gonna make me follow Juicy? You know what I mean? He's got them. You know what I mean? The script is patterned, but yeah, nah. I'm playing. I'm just, you know, I tried a thing. I got mad love for the music. Discovered it when I was a small boy. You know, growing up in West London. Obviously, Notting Hill Carnival's pretty much on my doorstep. Found it. Took me out of a place that wasn't a good direction, and I found that direction and was like, yo, this is the vibe, this is what I want to do. Started as a fan, just attending all the carnivals, attending all the fetes, attending all, you know, every element of soca just as much as I could. And then I just thought, you know what, I feel like I was born for the stage, you know what I mean, in whichever way. I didn't know where I was gonna be on the stage, how I was gonna get there, but I said, yo, my main love is soca music, so you know, let me try a thing. And you know, I feel like it's done all right, you know, I've done okay, and you know, I'm just growing and progressing. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's me. You know what I mean? So yeah, man.
Nice one. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. DJ Shaker HD, give us a little introduction, please.
I could take off the DJ now, or should I just use Shaker HD? Which one? Because
if I was you, I would just be Shaker HD +1.
+1.
Yeah.
Jeez, boy.
Just
greetings, everyone. Greetings, everyone. Shaker HD. I don't know which hat to wear, but you got DJ, Soca Frenzy, producer, writer, engineer. Been on the soca scene for years. You know what I mean? So I'm on this panel tonight to discuss the soca, and let me get saucy.
On the hot sauce, 100%. Just to remind you, I'm not your host for tonight, yeah? I'm just filling in for a little while. I want to say good afternoon or good evening to Shauna. I saw Shauna Parker's locked in. BP Soca are locked in. And when everybody's names keep coming up, I shall hail you out. But if you're here, thank you very much indeed. Don't forget, share this link, share the live, let everybody know that we are locked on right now. Daryl Gervais is in the house. Have you sorted out your problem yet? Yes or no?
Yes, I sorted it out.
All right, so let's have a brief introduction as to who you are.
So everyone knows me predominantly as a songwriter, but I am also somewhat of a producer, and I am also an artist manager. I don't even know where to begin with my catalog, but you know, most people know my music. Maybe they don't know that I wrote it, but I mean, that's me in a nutshell. I'm a pretty cool guy, very down to it, I would say. You know.
So, could I just say to everyone that's listening here, if you don't know, if I had written the kind of hits that Daryl Gervais has written for the likes of Kez and Patrice Roberts, listen, I'd be singing like an opera singer right now. I mean, I think he's undersold himself quite a lot. He's a prominent songwriter in the soca music industry, and has written many a great hit.
Thank you, brother.
We got Marsha on the line. Hello, Marsha.
Hi.
Give us a quick introduction as to who you are.
Okay, I am Marsha, aka Pon the Road UK. I am basically a carnival stroke soca blogger. I love everything to do with carnival and Caribbean culture. My family background is St. Vincent, Trinidad, Guyana, and Jamaica. I'm a mix and a blend, and I love all the islands. I wish we just unite together as one and operate as one big family. UK born, so my interest in this conversation is 100%.
Excellent. Nice to have you here. Very, very soon, I'm going to introduce you to your host for this evening. But before we do that, Ray is in the building. Ray, tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
What's up, everybody? My name is Ray, aka the sweetheart of soca, they're calling me these days. I'm from Trinidad, and I stay in the States. And I'm just here for the music, for the culture, for the, do anything.
Nice. It's nice to have you here. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is your panel. My name's Martin J. I am a Caribbean music specialist that started well over 30 years ago. Many people will remember me from my Caribbean affair on Choice FM, which I then carried over to Bacchanal Radio. I'm the operations manager for that radio station now, and it's a pleasure to be here. And on a number of occasions, I have worked with this young lady, and every now and then, she may arrive a little bit behind everybody else. I think that's her signature. I wouldn't like to say that she's been late. I think that she just likes to make everybody get settled in before she makes her entrance. And it is my great pleasure to hand over to your host for the evening, Miss Giselle Carter. What's happening, G?
Hey, Big Papi, how you doing? Hello, everyone. Good night to all the panel. It's really nice to see you guys, making sure that everybody is, alive and well and everything is working good. So it's nice to be here. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Giselle. I'm the band leader for GMI. Shout out to all GMites, and the founder of Gems Mass, which is a youth organization, as well as a trustee and founder of Organization for Caribbean Arts, Culture and Heritage, which is a registered charity in England and Wales, dealing with all things Caribbean. And yes, as Martin said, we worked on stage together, which has always been a pleasure. Big Papi, when the we out, I can't wait to come back on stage with you again. It's going to be really, really nice. Looking forward to that.
Try to be time, though.
Pardon?
Joking. Nothing, darling. Nothing.
It's nice to see everybody here. Welcome, everybody, wherever you're looking. Please share the live. Tell your friends tonight. Discussion is going to be extremely interesting. We have the panel ready to go. And also to make sure you stay tuned until the end, because we have some cacaholes of the week, which I'm sure everybody would be interested in getting their 2 cents in.
Hold on. Let me drink.
You understand? So get your drink ready and get your team ready and everything for the cacahole of the week. I can't wait. That's coming later on in the show.
I need to which is my Pyrex jar, boy.
For real. Because it's some serious cacaholes, and we'll explain what the cacahole is for our new viewers who don't know what that is. But before we get there, let us jump into the topic tonight. And the way how this is going to work is that I'll throw the question out there, and then I will come to you guys on my screen, because obviously we want the listeners to hear everybody. So we don't want everybody talking on top of each other. But, so I'll come to you to give you 2 cents on it. And as everyone knows, tonight we're talking about soca. And this is a topic that is close to my heart, and I'm sure to everyone who else is on the panel. Because, as an artist and being in the soca and calypso arena from since I was about 4 years old, and a lot of people don't know that I perform and have been performing for a long time, I've been looking at the evolution of soca in general, in Trinidad, where I'm originally from, as well as in the UK here. And, for me, is about what is soca and a soca industry in the UK. And it kind of begs the question about UK soca, and hence the reason why we have these guys on the panel. And therefore, the first question tonight is around, is UK soca good enough? Because it's something that I've heard. I've heard it as an artist. I've heard it as a presenter, about the UK soca having a particular sound, and it always being compared to Trinidad. And therefore, the question is it really good enough? Is it detrimental to have UK soca as a subgenre? Why should it be a subgenre anyway? So just to kick off with that, before we get into the other bits, is just to get your thoughts around that. Is UK soca good enough as the first question? And is it detrimental to have it as a subgenre? Yes or no? And why you think so? So if I go to my left on the screen, which is Cam King. So Cam, starting off with you, followed by Martin, and then Trini Boy Juicy in that order.
Yeah, in terms of what you say, that soca music, like me, I absolutely love soca music. Listen to soca when I wake up until while I go to sleep. I think it begs the question, because when you was asking it, I was just thinking, what is UK soca? Like, what is the sound? Do we have a sound? You see what I'm saying? So when you say, is it good enough? I can't really give you a definite answer in terms of what is the UK soca sound. I can't give you an answer for that.
Yeah.
I definitely feel that we've got talent, absolutely talent, you know. But in terms of, I think we really need to define what is, you know, UK soca.
And that's a good thing. And is there something such as UK soca? You know, because why is it branded as UK soca? It's just soca. It doesn't matter where it come from, you know. But this term UK soca, you know, is something that I've been hearing around the scene. UK soca, and you know, I don't know where that stemmed from or where that came from. Perhaps Martin, you might be able to shed some light on that. You know,
I'm the oldest one here.
To do Martin that now, man.
Yeah.
You've been in the game a long time, so you would know.
What I'm gonna say, some people won't agree with. Yeah, a lot of people won't agree with. And I'm gonna answer the question in reverse. My first answer is I do think it's quite healthy to have a UK soca scene. Yeah. My second answer is there such a thing as UK soca? Geographically, yes. The difference between us and New York is when Trinidad Carnival done, everybody gone and relocate. So they're in New York. You understand? That's an extension to Trinidad.
Yes.
You understand? We over here are in another world to them. You understand? When they fly over here, they're making a proper commitment. They're flying over here. And even though it takes a few hours to get to New York is an extension of the Caribbean. And so a lot of the Caribbean artists, when their carnival season's done, they're gone.
Yeah.
UK artists, they have to work a little bit harder. You understand? And so I think for us to have a collective as a UK soca scene, I think it's necessary. I don't think there's a particular UK soca sound because I don't think there's enough established producers. Now you've got the likes of Sean, you've got the likes of Shaker. There are a few producers over here, but I don't think there's enough established producers for you to be able to say, hey, that is the production, that is our UK soca sound. You understand?
Yeah.
But I believe that they're very, very necessary. And I believe that the standard is a lot higher than the audience give it credit for.
So let me ask you this then, Martin, because obviously, you know, with you being around the scene as a DJ and listening to and playing soca music as well, and seeing the artists coming up, if you were to compare, now I know that you've said that, you know, where it is now is really good and stuff like that. If I were to ask a question to you, like, let's go back about 20 years ago, because you've been in the game 20 plus years. 20 years ago, did we have UK soca artists? Did we have our own breed of soca artists? Or is this something that has, you know, has kind of like germinated within the past, I don't know, 10, 15 years?
I think geographically, we've always had UK soca artists, you know, the likes of SW Storm that were living here at the time they were recording would have had to class themselves as a UK soca artist. That's where they were living. The world was a lot bigger in those days, you know. You couldn't record and pipe it down the line via email and, you know, Darryl go fix it up, and you couldn't do that. You know, if you were going to record, you had to book a flight, you had to book accommodation. It was a lot more difficult. But yeah, I think we had UK artists here. To answer your question, yeah, I think we do geographically. We had UK soca artists here. I think the UK soca scene exploded about 10 years ago.
Okay, cool.
I think that's when people started to go, wait, hang on a minute. There's good, you know?
Yeah. I would agree with that.
I'm not gonna name drop because the you know.
Make sure speak your mind, you know. Who like it, vex loss.
No, you ain't gonna vex with me, but you know, the likes of Trini Boy Juicy, when they first came on, that's when we started to see an emergence of the UK soca scene. And the way that they were pumping at the time, they were moving with the times, and it was just a different approach to the game.
Yeah. So that brings me on nicely to you, TJ. You know, and you know he's my boy. and you know, I think as someone, an artist who's been grinding and been, you know, in the field for a long time and doing his thing, you know, what's your perspective on this? Because you would have seen, and you are part of, you know, that whole evolution of the UK soca scene. So from your perspective, you know, do you think that it's good enough? I know you'd say yes, but you answer. And in terms of having a UK soca as a subgenre, what do you think about that?
Well, you know, right now I am. My thoughts just going like this now. Just you know what I mean? So right now I'm in overdrive.
Yeah.
To start off with, I definitely think it's important to have a subgenre of UK soca. I guess it gives representation to the music coming from that place, i.e. Greens release, Trinidad release, Bajan release. And it may not be like that. I know it was like Crop Over or Trinidad, or you know what I mean? So I think it's very important that you have that. For me, as you guys know, what makes me different compared to everybody else is that I am based in the UK. You know, I remember when I first started getting music, and as Martin said, when I came into the game, our whole approach was different. You know, we wasn't waiting for opportunities. We created our own opportunities, but we didn't just do it with rag and flag. We thought about marketing. We thought about merchandise. We thought about quality videos, getting your songs mixed and mastered, and all of these things, I guess, played a role in the evolution of the brand. You know what I mean? And my brand, which is UK Soca. However, you know, as time go on now, I guess that's, for me, was my marketing. That was my marketing strategy. You know, I represent the UK. Our market is not just the UK, it's Europe. You know, so we're talking about Germany, Scandinavia. We're talking about, you know, as far as places like Ibiza and all of these places where, you know, soca music wasn't the norm, and where a lot of people who were based in Europe couldn't relate to the Caribbean artists. So we had to, I mean, when I say we, myself, my team, other UK artists, had to think, how could we create a brand that is palatable for the European market, you know? So, to speed up, where I think we're at right now, Bottle Overhead was the origin of UK soca, you know, to say the least. You know what I mean? And it's something that made me different from all the other releases in the world. You know, it's because who is the names behind it? Where's that sound? You know, but as Martin said, I don't think we have a unique sound yet, but I guess instead of us looking for a sound of UK soca, I guess it has to be the branding or the visuals or something else within the art form of Caribbean culture is what makes us different.
Yeah, well, I would beg to differ a little bit on that, and that will bring me to you, Shaker. I'm gonna just jump over to Shaker, being a producer, because I think that we do have a particular sound. When I listen to the artists coming out of the UK, because the influence in the UK, you know, you have the grime and you have, you know, the this kind of all the different influences. I hear that coming through some of you guys' music, you know, and therefore it sounds to me in my ear, even though it's soca, it sounds slightly different to what I hear coming out of Greens, what I hear coming out of Trinidad, what I hear coming out of Antigua, you know, and you can tell, if I listen to like an Antiguan production, I can tell that sounds Antiguan, or a Trini production, it sounds, you know, it sounds like that. And I think it's something that we should harness, we should nurture, we should be proud of, because nothing is wrong with sounding different. Because somebody, look, at the end of the day, music is music, and good music is good music. It doesn't matter where it comes from. But having a particular sound in terms of a brand, because you talk about the brand and branding it and packaging it and identifying it, I think is something that we should look into. And Shaker, certainly having listened to your productions and working with you myself in studio, you know, your sound is Shaker's sound. It sounds, you're not gonna sound like, what do they call them? Mad Men or Nine Man Entertainment or this one or that one. You're gonna sound like Shaker. So coming to you, Shaker, from a producer's perspective, do you think that the environment, you know, being based in the UK influences the sound of the music that you produce?
For me personally, I mean, in terms of inspiration, I mean, I get inspiration from different places. But I think the problem with the sound itself, all of us are from different backgrounds. For instance, SD's background is Grenadian. My background is monstration. I mean, yes, I do listen to soca music from all over the world. So to pinpoint or target a sound, it's a little bit more difficult to do that, because I might get inspiration from an Antiguan sound or the Iron Band, or I might wake up another day and say, yo, I want to make a job, you know what I mean? But I can put, say, Trini Boy Juicy, Pajo, Mercy on it. But the sound is, for me, I don't think the sound should be the focus. You know what I mean? It's more really, it's always for me content.
Yeah.
And if I take off the producer's hat and put on the DJ's hat, it's a thing of, all right, cool. If I'm gonna play a song that written by Daryl, you know what I mean, and I'm playing the next song from a UK soca artist that the lyrics are probably a lot different, I might think twice of playing it, and it goes to content. And Trini Boy Juicy, Bottle Overhead, that song could play with any song that any one of those guys releases, you know what I mean? And that is where the difference, for me, that is where the difference is.
Yeah.
In terms of the production quality, the production quality is definitely up. You know what I mean? You got Smash, you know what I mean, SD doing his thing, Soca Child, you know what I mean, myself. So the quality is there, and we've all worked with artists that's not based here. So we have to step our game up as well. You know what I mean? I can't send Daryl something and it sound like Tin Pan, because he
No, you
ain't
can't.
you know what I mean? You understand? So
Think twice.
so as I said, the quality, I think the production quality is there. You know what I mean? For me, it's context and content, and it's the way you bring your music across. Yes, you have to know what people want to hear. I know everyone likes to jump on the hype, as they call it. You know what I mean? But you still have to have an identity within yourself as an artist.
Yes.
To know where you want to go on your brand. You can't be jumping on everything because, boy, this is the hottest thing here. You know what I mean? Just to try something. You don't want to be trying something. If this is what your brand is, you gotta stick with that and believe in it and push it to the maximum.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of subgenre, to be honest, I mean, soca is soca. And one of my favorite lines are, when everybody drunk in the party, people don't really care where you come from, once they enjoy themselves. It's a good song, and that's it. They gonna label it as soca. And that's all it is. You know what I mean? So that's my 2 pence.
Well, so then that then brings us nicely to the question around, because something that you mentioned, Bottle Overhead could play anywhere and can stand up with the rest of, the best of the best anywhere. And certainly for Trinidad Carnival, it was playing everywhere, fetes, radio, everything, and it did stand up to everything else. So then that leads me on to the question then, and which we asked, is UK soca good enough? Because why is it that, what is it about Bottle Overhead that it took for that to break through? But other songs by other artists haven't had that level of breakthrough, certainly in Trinidad and certainly, globally. Because, I mean, Bottle Overhead has been playing in the States as well, and in other places. So coming back to the question about, is UK soca good enough? And I'll come to you, White Boy, and then Daryl, and then Marsha. Is it good enough? What does it take for a soca song from the UK, for a UK artist to break through in other areas? What is it, that you think it might take? And is it good enough? Same question to you guys, starting with you, White Boy.
Me personally, I can only really talk for, my only personal experience of how I entered the game, right? So I did, as I said before, obviously in the introduction, I said, let me just try a thing because I love the music. You know what I'm saying? I just had a love for it. But I was a bit cautious because I said, you know what? Let me make sure, I have to try and see if there's a way for it to actually, because obviously I'm not going to lie, I've spoken to most of the artists and they already know my views. I didn't really see UK soca songs actually you know, I see them playing in Trinidad. I see footage on Instagram and stuff, playing in Trinidad, playing in Grenada, people performing here, people performing there. But I never saw any traction like UK wise, like any, like, you know, kind of UK radios, and, you know, mainly just the average music listener listening in the UK. So I did take an approach where I was like, well, there must be a way for me to actually make it seem like a kind of UK style of soca. Like, that was my kind of, you know, thought process. Like, you know, let me try and keep real to myself as well, because I grew up on grime, as you said before, Giselle, grime music and UK rap, UK drill, etc., that was trending during the time. So I said, well, I don't have a West Indian accent, so I'm not gonna go, you know what I mean? So I was like, okay, cool. I had to be true to myself. So when I dropped the Big Ben song, I tried to use elements where, like,
wait, I want to interrupt.
No.
This thing is too formal. Let me think. So, white boy, before you start, let me talk, man. Talk the things, man. And I want my bottle there. Talk the things. Let me start, man.
Are you trying to draw me out? No. So I felt like UK soca needed that, you know, that print, that real print, you know, the definition to say, okay, when people hear it in Trinidad, when they hear it in Grenada, they're gonna say, yo, that's a UK soca song, like, you know what I mean? So, and I thought the reason why we needed that is because I just feel like, you know, when you have drill, UK drill now, and now UK drill is a mad trend, and I was like, okay, then you have things like Afro swing, which I always think about, and I always use this example, and I say, well, at first, the Afrobeat scene, the African scene in the UK was doing okay, but it was just, you know, Wizkid and Burna Boy and Davido was playing. But then as soon as the London boys, the African London boys, started to do Afrobeats, but blend it with their London influence and their UK influence, that's when it started to take off. And you're hearing it in Nigeria, but you're also hearing it in Hackney down the road. You know what I mean? So I said, if they can do that, then we can do that too, you know what I'm saying? And that was my approach to it personally, because I felt like we need to try and connect to the average listener in the UK. Because it's all good making a song that you're based here and it sells in the islands. Great, wonderful, that's amazing, you know what I mean? But how are we gonna take it to the next level? And I feel like, yo, we have 70 million people in the UK, so why not make it appealing to them too? You know what I'm saying? So we can, and I feel like, yeah, we don't want to change the music, but I feel like music does grow wherever it goes. Like it's proven in any genre. Like it grows wherever it goes, it grows. You know what I mean? So even okay, soca was originated in Trinidad. I say, yo, I see jab when you talk about the jab. I see that as a segment. You know, like a kind of sub-genre in a way. You know, even when you talk about Dennery segment and you know, and bashment soca, like, you know, everywhere it goes, it kind of adapts to its environment.
It does,
you know?
just like the Zesta music, which is another thing that is springing up. You know,
Can I interject there, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't like drill. I wasn't born here, so I don't like drill, right? So for me to make something that's influenced that way, that would never happen. You understand?
Yeah.
And I think that's where to do something like that. I mean, well, I could speak for myself. I would quicker make something that sound Montreal, Antigua, Trinidadian, Bajan, because I'm from the Caribbean.
Yeah.
You know.
And that's because of your exposure, your experiences, your environment. But White Boy touched on something which is really important. You know, we have here, and this is something that, you know, I find very interesting. We have 60+ million people here. We are based. It's kind of like the UK. It's kind of like the gateway to Europe, you know. So why don't we create an industry here? Because clearly the market here is much bigger than the islands. So if we have something that we can brand, if we have a particular sound, if we have something that we could then market and sell to our listenership here, you'll blow up more than trying to make it in Trinidad, trying to make it in Greens or whatever, you know, and then your gateway as an artist to perform and to push your music out to Europe, being based here, is much better than an artist from the island trying to come over on this side, you know, unless you're the the popping artists in Trinidad, the Marshall Montanas of this world or something like that, where you're all over the place. But for artists based in Trinidad, the up and coming artists, it is hard for them, to get a gig on this side of the pond, and you guys have it, it's you guys have it here, so my like pushing it there. Yes, Marsha.
Sorry, Giselle, just going back briefly about UK soca. Like, so for me, I'm born in the UK, okay, and my heritage, my background is very mixed from many different islands, and that is the same for many UK-born people here, like second and third generation after the Windrush. We're not from the islands, we're born here, and we're influenced by all the islands. So I think for UK soca, especially UK-born soca artists, they are going to draw from all the influences from all the other islands that they interact with here in the UK, from traveling back to other islands, and even from the having brought up and educated in this country. So there is a guy called D-Live, the Bajan boy. Now he does rap, I think drill. He's from that background, and when he's ready to spit out his Bajan walk up himself thing, listen, don't play with him. So I think the UK soca sound is not here yet, but it's evolving. It's coming, because that's the only way it can go. Next generation of music producers, they're all mostly going to be UK-born people with Caribbean background. So they are going to bring that influence with them. They are going to bring the punk, the rap, the pop industry influences, the culture and the fashion. That's London fashion or UK fashion. It's even going to step over into Europe and France as we move across Europe and interact with people. So for me, it will be UK soca, but it's also a way to push soca worldwide, because we are the gateway to Europe. So now we're telling the people here, this is soca. Yeah, it originates from the Caribbean, but because of our history and our past, we're in the UK and we're still bringing our Caribbean culture and our background with us, but just developing it into something new. It's going to evolve. That's how I see it. It's not going to stay the same.
Yeah. Daryl, what about you? What's your perspective?
I cannot say that the UK soca has a sound yet. I mean, geographically, there's soca everywhere, and let's say like Bajan and St. Lucia and all these things. A big part of it is their accent, right? And St. Lucia has the Dennery segment, and they have Zouk. Zouk is from St. Lucia too, right? No?
It's more French, but they have Zouk influence in St. Lucia.
Yeah, but they do have that influence there too, right? UK soca, me personally, I don't know enough about the artists over there to say there's a sound. I like that white boy said that he did something with that grime in it, with that influence. Now, music is something like that. You could experiment with it and create something, and if it's good enough, it will catch on. But a particular sound, I wouldn't say that, because, for instance, look, Trini Boy Juicy's Bottle Over Here. Nobody listens to that and think that is UK soca. Like, not a soul in the world will think that, but it's a dope record. It's a bad song, and I think that's where the next issue comes. Why haven't the other artists and they penetrated the soca scene like that? That right there is the question, and I think that really is a matter of quality and consistency. People will send me songs sometimes. Daryl, is there any way to fix this? How could we make this into a hit? And I'll be honest with you, sometimes the cure for it is for me to write it over completely. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it isn't to a standard that I could do much to it, because then if I attach myself to it and just try to write pieces, then I kind of damaging my own brand too. So I think there's levels to this thing, and I'm big on quality control. Your writing has to be good, your vocals has to be good, You know, the production has to be good. You know, all these things work together to make a good product. It's not just about the song. It's not just about the artist and all of that. But you know, I think there's a lot of talent in the UK. A lot. I think there are people deserving of further recognition there. But I think I don't know all of their work ethics. I don't know all of them to know how they really get down. I don't know how serious they take it. Those are the things that I look for when I'm working with an artist. Because my artist is right here, Ray is there, and she knows I don't like to waste my time. And I invest my time wisely. So if I know you're not even that serious, because for me to know that you're serious, I look at a lot of different things. How you set aside your time management to deal with this career that you so claim that you love. That is one thing I pay attention to. You know, I hate excuses. So and I don't like it because I know where I came from. You know, and if I put in the work coming from the background that I came from, then you could do it too. So as far as the UK soca artists, and Juicy was really the first one that I really knew, and we've developed a really good relationship. We've co-written a few songs. We've been working throughout the pandemic, you know. And I've now started to really get to know a lot of the others, you know, and there's talent there. There's talent there. So, but I feel as though even the way that you choose to invest in your music, invest in your craft, is extremely important. You know, it doesn't come just like that. You know, you're not gonna just put out anything you feel to put out and feel, well, they're not accepting we think, you know, why we ain't getting forwards and that kind of thing. You have to think about the quality that you're putting out. That's a main thing for me.
And that's a very good point, you know, and just picking up on that, because I can see a lot of people nodding their heads, including Martin. So Martin, with your DJ hat on, Shaker with your DJ hat on as well, you know, all of you touched on it in terms of the quality that is being put out there, and that really answers the question nicely in terms of, you know, why hasn't it broken through and stuff like that. And you know, from a DJ perspective, and I'm going to ask the artists on this panel as well, you know, from a DJ perspective, do you think, or from what you're hearing, what's being released by the artists, you know, do you think that the quality is good enough for you to be playing as a DJ? Be honest. If you think about, you know, the different artists that are out there, UK soca artists, is the quality? Be honest, is the quality good enough as a DJ for you to play it? When you listen it, when they send you a tune and you listen it, and you in a party and you're thinking, nah, I ain't really gonna drop this, you know. And even on your radio show, Martin, you know, what stops you from playing, you know, a track from a UK soca artist?
Nothing.
Right, so nothing stops you, but do you think that the quality is good out there for you to play it in a party, for you to play it on your station?
Let me try and differentiate the two, yeah? As a radio presenter, I am sitting down in a studio with either a screen or a wall in front of me. I'm king of my castle. Yeah. And at that point, I will say, I'm going to introduce you to a song. Yeah. Now, after I play that song, 3 people send me a text message and say, oh, good, but nobody, take that off. That has never happened to me. I'm just saying to you. That would be the way that I would get feedback. But I would always want to introduce a song to you. Now, as a DJ, when you're in a party, that's a different thing. You understand? Because you are in front of a crowd that doesn't understand. I'll give you an example of what I mean. I'm very, very strong on not repeating songs. I don't think it's necessary. When Killer had Run, yeah? The DJ before me played it. Because I played the song on the same song, the song on the same rhythm. This girl came up to me and said to me, play Killer. I said, I can't play it. The DJ before me played it. So what? I said, well, me as a DJ, I ain't gonna play it. Well, you shouldn't have even been booked for this fete.
Oh, shucks.
Oh wow.
Oh, shucks.
Now,
You made the girl vex, man.
What's the girl's name?
Martin, you didn't have a cuss, did you?
in my younger years, I would have stopped me
Please.
and crushed me stink. I just let it go. But the mentality of the people in the crowd is what you got to take into consideration as well. I just want to touch on a point. UK is a geographical term. Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
you don't have a UK sound. Yeah, you do have a UK soca scene.
Mhm.
You understand?
Yes,
Now,
yes.
we haven't spoken to Ray yet. Yeah?
Yeah.
But let's take Ray as an example. Ray is in New York, but she's a Trini. Do you understand? And she doesn't have to affiliate herself to a New York soca scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. She
And
doesn't have
there's no New York soca.
New York
You know?
soca, right?
Exactly.
You understand? But there was a collective of New York artists, and most of them are bust now. And so they don't need, you don't need to hear about that. You know what I mean? There was a time when GB and Neutron and Lyrical and all of them was artists hustling in New York to get recognition. You know what I mean? And they did it as a collective. And that is my point. The UK soca scene and the UK sound, there's no such thing as a UK sound. You understand?
Yeah, there's not.
Someone like White Boy goes on a tune and he talks with his White City voice, then you could say, well, yeah, he has a UK sound.
And that's what I want.
Introduce me to someone that sounds more Trini than Trini Boy Juicy, and I go buy you a drink.
And I like how I think, Martin, you were a politician in your last life because you dance around that question real nice. You dance around that question real nice. You understand? So, Jacob, let me pose the same question to you.
Yeah,
in terms of the quality and I mean, Martin defined the difference between playing on a radio station and playing in effect. Now, obviously, in effect, you could see the reaction of people. But I've been to a few fetes, and let me tell you something: the DJ playing soca from UK artists is far and few in between. You know, why is that? Is it because the quality is not good enough? Answer the question honestly, please. Is the quality not there with the plethora of UK soca artists for you to play it in effect?
The majority don't want to hear it.
No, I'm talking
But be
true.
real.
The majority don't want to hear it. You understand? If I'm playing, I mean, DJs don't want to flop themselves. That's one. That's they could either repeat 10 songs all night. They don't want to flop themselves. Right? And again, it really goes back to content, because I will use bottle overhead again. If I'm playing a rum segment, who will they be drinking and blah blah blah, who drinking rum, I could drop Trini Boy Juice inside it because it work. And well, that's my playing style. If I'm playing a segment, I look for songs that can work in those segments. A lot of the songs, again, the content wouldn't work in terms of what the DJ is trying to deliver to the crowd. And that's how I see it. It go back to the lyrics. It really goes back to the lyrics.
Could I ask you to ask Ray what her opinion is? Because she's sitting there. We haven't heard from her yet.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I've been waiting. It's kind of difficult now when so many people went and said a lot of the thoughts that I had already. But I have a couple opinions. One, I will wholeheartedly say that I'm not that familiar with whatever is considered as the UK soca scene. However, I think in order for UK to have its sub-genre, it has to have a distinct sound that separates in it from what we consider to be regular soca in the first place. And from what I have heard,
I don't hear a distinct difference to say that there needs to be a subgenre. The same way, like he said, I am in New York. I am doing soca. There's no New York soca because I don't see anything distinct in the sound to say that New York needs a subgenre. So that's a touch on that. As far as is it good enough, I think a lot of people touch on the fact that it's a lot about the quality. I also think it's about the consistency. I think it's how you're marketing yourself, who's representing the people from the UK. I think all those things play a role as to, are you being heard? Are you being seen? You know,
Facts on facts.
Who was behind the production, and sometimes that even makes a difference in just it being played, because whether it has an opportunity or not to stand alone as a subgenre, the truth is unless it's going to do that, unless it's going to say, okay, well, we're going to sing soca and make sure we try to keep a heavy UK accent on it to say that there's a distinct difference or whatever the case is, we all kind of first had to be accepted by Trinidad. So if that is the case, and that's the role that we're going to work with, then I think UK has to now make a decision. And that decision is, are we going to go with the fact that, okay, we want Trinidad or the other islands to accept this? So are we going to blend and market and push more to the sound so that it is more recognized that artists are coming out of the UK producing soca? Or do we want to say we really want to create this subgenre that stands by itself, that it could be identified as UK soca, so on and so forth? But I think a big part of it is literally the quality. I think the quality is important, and I think the representation and the marketing is a big part of anything you're doing in music and in entertainment. So
yeah.
So
I agree.
play
Can't
devil's
you
advocate.
say something? Sorry?
I'm gonna play devil's advocate here, yeah.
Yeah.
So in the UK soca scene, UK soca scene is vibes.
okay.
But how many, I'm just putting the question out there, how many, do we have enough good soca artists out there?
So here's the question that I'm gonna ask you. What is considered a good UK soca artist? What are
Right.
you using to determine what is the definition of that?
Well, I don't like. I think that's the question to the artist, the soca artist. Like, what is a good soca artist?
Quality.
You know?
Right, and that's why I asked. 'Cause I felt like
Quality.
it came back down to quality. And
Quality.
that's the reason.
But when we
I think-
when we talk about quality, what we have to consider, where is the benchmark? Because that's another question. What is the benchmark? So what is considered a good, I wouldn't even say artist, forget the artist. What is the benchmark for what is considered a good record? You know
So
what?
I want to tackle that.
I think the artist had to sound good first.
Yeah, I think the benchmark. First of all, you had to know if you're good enough within yourself first, right? Yeah, starting there. But secondly, we need honest people around us. Some of us drinking bad juice. You know, we drinking we own juice in a really, really negative way. So we need honest people around us. So for instance, I am a vocalist. I am a trained vocalist from small. You send a song for me, a demo for me, I'm gonna tell you if it's a your song and good and you need vocal training. And I have heard a few, and not just from the UK, but from all over the Caribbean, all over the world, and I've had to encourage people, some vocal training is necessary in the most respectful way. And sometimes they could sing, but I will always encourage someone, do some vocal training because it will help you to master your vocals and get your sound, But I think a big part of it is, we need honest people around us. We have people around us who just gassing us up, and you need your mommy need to be able to tell you, hey, right? So people just end up on Voice and American Idol, and then vex with the judges when the judges and pick them because you don't have honest people in your life.
Sorry, and not to cut you off, Daryl, but that's kind of also what I meant when I said representation as well. Because I feel like when you have somebody representing you, you have somebody in your corner that's being honest, that's telling you, you need to do X, Y, Z, or you need to fix this image, or you need to whatever it is. But that's the point of representation, because once you reach that, they're not gonna have you go out there producing something that's mediocre. So that's kind of where I was going with the representation comments as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do, I'm good because we could talk about this topic until the cows
Whole
come.
day.
I need to move us along, but I just want to say welcome to all the people commenting in the live chat. You know, the live chat is blowing up right now. I see all your comments, so keep your comments coming in. You know, and a lot of our viewers are agreeing with what you're saying. And of course, you know, the general comment from, you know, a lot of the people is around, yes, you can't just have people around you who are gassing you up. You need to be honest with yourself. You need to have honest people around you. Big up to Paho Music, who is, you know, tuning in live, who's a UK artist as well. And to everybody else on the chat live who are chatting in the comments. Obviously, just to let you know, to stay tuned, share the live, let everybody know. We do have the Cackahole of the Week coming up. But moving us right along into another issue. And it's something that was kind of like hinted. So when we talk about, you know, as an artist and in terms of, you know, the quality of the music that you put out, from both an artist perspective and a producer perspective, and looking at, and the reason why I asked about, you know, the benchmark, and there's something that Daryl spoke about, was it Daryl or somebody touched on, I think it was you, Ray, with or Martin, about the artists based in New York and how they were, you know, grinding as a collective. It's something that we need to talk about, and I really want your honest opinion, guys. And I'll start with the artist this time first around. So Ray, I'll come to you first, then Trini Boy Juicy, then White Boy. Is around the unity and soca music amongst the artists and them. And I want to let you talk to them, because the question is there really unity in soca? And people, don't forget, for all our viewers, this is part one of a 3-part series, because we will have other artists and DJs and producers and promoters in the next segment. We're going to have promoters on the show to get their perspective. But is there really unity? And I'm just going to put this out there. I've seen, for example, with the Jamaican artists and with reggae and dancehall music, that they bring each other up. One pulls up one. You know, it's the same thing with Afrobeat music. You know, they pull up each other. There seems to be a collective. There seems to be a unity. You know, you look at certain artists in Jamaica and bust other artists. You understand? And you know, like Gonzalez is like the godfather of busting artists in Jamaica. Is there really that unity in soca from an artist perspective? Ray, let me come to you first. What do you think?
All right, so
be real.
The quickest way to answer it is no. I don't think it exists. I think that you will find a couple of people here and there that believe in you, that may be willing to help you, willing to extend a hand. But overall unity, I think that it doesn't exist. And if it does exist, it's falsified, meaning that it may be done in a way because another artist might look bad if they don't present it that way to, let me say, an up and coming or whatever the case may be. But as a collective, this is me personally. Maybe somebody else from somewhere else might think differently, but me personally, I don't think that there's unity. I think that we talk a lot about the women should be uplifting the women and they should be carrying the new women under their wing. And I could tell you straight up, from me, the people that have carried me under their wing for whatever their reasonings may be, whether they think I look nice, whether they believe in the talent, whatever it may be, has been the males. As far as the females, it has basically pretty much been non-existent. And I think it's because there's a level of, instead of it being unity and saying there's enough here to share, there's enough here to go around, everybody could benefit, everybody could do this, it's more viewed as, if I help this one, she could replace me. If I help this one, she could get better than me. And that starts to let people sit back and
my
be like,
spot.
Yeah, exactly. It's not viewed as we grow in this community together. It's not grown as we exposing the world to the bigger picture together. It's like, oh, nah, if I'm not doing it, I'm damn sure not about to help her be the person that does it. You know what I'm saying? So, no.
So I know experience based in the US, because we know we have soca artists based in the US. We have some Trini soca artists based in the US. in New York. Is it that Saucy is in New York?
Yes.
So, and I'm just trying to think of the female artists out there. And Ray, have you performed alongside other female artists like Patrice and Destra and Denise and those? Have you had that platform where you performed, you were on the same show as any one of them?
Yeah, so I've been on the same shows as Patrice, as Nessa, as Nyla. Daryl, you could jump in, and if I'm forgetting others, but
I'm not sure if we touched the same stage with Saucy before. But
that one I know we didn't. We haven't done, or Destra. I don't think it has to with Destra.
Neither Destra, yeah.
And what was the attitude like? As as an artist being around them. Don't be things them.
Hold on.
You don't have to call names. You don't have to call names. We just let me rephrase it. So you've been on a show with other female artists who are doing their thing and known in the soca world. What was that experience like? As a female yourself, and obviously just about that experience in general. Did it feel like if it was an environment whereby there was this camaraderie, there was this female support, there was this kind of unity? Was that there?
All right, so I want to tread lightly when I answer this question, but from my perspective, it was an honor. You know what I'm saying? It was me feeling grateful to even be able to be on the same shows as these other artists. However, it was a little bit of a letdown. I don't feel like I was treated in any kind of way where, and I'm not saying to say treat me as your equal. I understand that there's levels. I understand that everybody have to put in their work. I understand that you can't just reach. You know what I'm saying? That's all well and understood. But I'm just a big person on being humble, and everybody's a human being at the end of the day. And I just feel like I wasn't met with an authentic, like an authentic high,
Yeah, or the same level of respect. Now stick a pin there, because for me, there's something you talk about. You can't just what does it say? You can't just walk, or you have to pay your dues. It's still paying your dues.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, me coming up in Calypso, there's something that they always talk about as a Calypsonian, paying your dues. Well, how long you gonna have to play your bloody dues for?
And what exactly is your dues?
If it is, I'll come back to you, Ray, but if your music is good, it doesn't matter about paying dues. You understand? Because you should be on a level footing. It shouldn't matter if you come into the game today or you was in the game 10 years ago. You understand? If your music is good, it is good.
Good music is good music.
With anybody. So you should never feel as an artist that you're any less than any other artist on that show just because they've been in the game longer than you, or just because their music has been given more airplay than yours. You understand? And this is something that really gets me, because it shouldn't be like that. And there shouldn't be levels. Why should there be levels in terms of, all right, well, this one is the bigger artist, or that one is the bigger artist? What? Because you have a big tune? Your big tune could not be a big tune next year. Your big tune could not be a big tune, in 6 months' time. You could be happening now. So 2020 Carnival season, is the hottest thing since sliced bread. And 2021, nobody even want to know you, because you're not really pumping. So then what? Are you still considered a big artist? And this is something that I have noticed personally, and I've observed being around artists as well, not performing, because the good thing about being an MC is that you could watch people. Yeah, Martin would know this. You could stand and observe and just watch.
Don't bring me in the back.
Hey, you have to come in the back and help papi. I ain't behind. But you can watch and observe. But that's very interesting, because if your music is good, your music is good. And certainly we talk about it. Yes, there should be unity, and it's sad to hear, even though I know it myself, amongst the female artists, that isn't there, and I'm sure that they would have thrown shade on you and say the high wasn't really genuine. It's like, but it ain't really, and that's how it goes, and it's a shame, and we need to address that. And again, we will pick up in other segments of this show, in part 2 and 3, when we talk to other promoters from the promoters' perspective as well. about the attitude of artists. And I like what you say in terms of being humble. Humility gets you far. You know, it does, because people can work with you. When your head is up the backside, nobody really will work with you, you know.
Yeah.
You know, so it's good to remain humble and do your thing, you know. But if your music is good, your music is good, you know, and nobody better than you.
Let me just jump in here. Let me just
jump in, Papi.
All right. So when you're talking about artist support, and I fully hear what Ray has just said, especially on an international level. And what you got to remember is that Ray is dipping her toe in an ocean, not a small pond. You understand? She's dipping her toe in an ocean. When we talk about artists that pull together, I'm going to use Trini Boy Juicy as an example. I'm going to use artists like Scrappy as an example, where I personally know that these two have done things to pull one another up. Yeah, when they were going through, when they were pumping hard, you know what I mean? They've done things to support each other, and that for me is what defines the UK soca scene. Yeah, not necessarily how they sound, because they sound very different. Scrappy is very different to what Trini Boy Juicy is. You understand? But those artists, I don't think had any senior artists to look up to here that pulled them up. You understand? And that's why they had to take out a shovel and spade and dig their own tunnel and dig their own path. You know? Now, Giselle, you know that Singing Sandra is one of those ladies when she was alive that would talk to the artist, talk to the female artist. If you listen to most of the artists, female artists coming through the ranks, they would say at some point they've had a conversation with Mother.
Yeah, that was amazing.
No,
absolutely.
I'm not asking her that. I'm telling you that.
That's straight facts. Straight facts.
And I'm not sure that that's being passed down the ranks.
Mentorship.
No, exactly. And so that's two things. The mentorship of the artists that have been in the game for a longer time with the younger ones, but also the unity amongst the artists themselves, you know, and how it is they interact with each other. Because as Ray said, you know, there's sometimes there's this kind of attitude that, you know, if I help this person, or if I'm seeing supporting this person, they might get ahead more than me, they might get further than me, they might get more forwards, they might get, you know, TJ from being a male in the business. And I mean, you could be considered more like one of the elders in UK soca.
Yes.
You know?
Don't demand that now.
Yeah.
One of the elders in UK soca. Even though you're still young, but you're elders like Marshall. Marshall is an elder, but he's a young guy. He's in his 40s. You know what's your perspective in terms of the unity amongst artists, soca artists?
Yeah. Now, well, you missed me like 3 questions, you know. I sit down here waiting patiently and watching my phone. It's IRL thing, you know, real thing, you know. And my thing is this, right?
Wait. You're going to have to rewind because I think we...
Giselle's frozen.
Yeah, somebody call her phone later.
Bro, I thought she was waiting to speak.
Yeah.
No, freeze.
Causing back
she
you know what, this too. Yeah, so let me talk the things, but I
come on, Trini Boy, come on, he's a veteran. Come on, talk the
things. It's Ray with his sweetness, eh? It's Ray with his sweetness.
It's me with my sweetness.
It's Ray with his sweetness.
Hey, stop your dirty ways now, bro.
Oh God, oh, you're on live.
There's so much, like, you know, and again, for me, it's like, for Ray, I mean, I'm not sure how long your journey has been, if you're a new artist, or regardless of the new artist, you've been working for a long time, you know, but the reason why, you know, everything, action has a reaction, you know, and everything happens for a reason. When I first came out, there was active artists performing, representing soca in the UK. No, they may not have represented themselves as UK soca, but they were active artists in the UK. You understand? So when I came in at that time, the UK soca scene as such, as in the party industry, was very small. And I mean, in the sense of it would be the same people going to every fete. It was a community, you know what I mean? More than a wide thing where everybody let me go to the UK. No, it was more of a, you know, a scene. It was a scene, you know? So when I came in, that was you know, that was the standpoint or the benchmark to say, well, look, the music I create is origin from the UK, is coming out of the UK. You know, to say the first thing. The second thing, when you talk about paying dues and artists not endorsing you, I can tell you that firsthand. I have worked with every major artist that you could regard as a big artist in the industry, and I have helped them to a certain extent, and yet still only one artist, and I say this with which it again, when I got the opportunity, it made me emotional. The one artist that ever showed me that love on stage, and this is like sharing a platform, was Lava Man. You know what I mean? And he said to me, Juicy, you have a bigger song than me on the same rhythm we on, which is a ST production. And he said, don't sing your song in your set. I want to bring you out in my set and let the world know. You understand? And that kind of love within our industry, you don't get that. So whether female, I know the female struggle is very different because men might be into you because of how you look or what they think they could get from you. But for the male as well, sometimes it's an ego thing, you know. I'm bigger than he, or he's a small artist. So, you know, there's this notion that if the people or the masses don't know you, you're regarded as a small artist. Yeah. Now, I can tell you this firsthand. I've worked with Machel Montano for a long time. I worked with Bunji Garlin Camp for a long time. You know what I mean? I've worked for a lot of the ones you regard as, you know, from the Leroy's, this one to that. I've worked with all of them, you know, and within our industry, and I guess within our culture, our community, the Caribbean community, people find it hard, you know, and I'm not speaking to everybody or trying to tarnish everybody, but I don't know what it is where a man feels you might take his shine or you might be bigger than he. And for me, that's one of the things that across the board has to change. So when you talk about paying your dues doesn't necessarily mean you have to pay to get your tunes made. You know, sometimes it's about making that links, making that connection, making that
yeah, I didn't mean pay dues like you have a set time.
Yeah, not you in general, but I mean this notion. You know, so for me as an artist, if I've been doing this for 11 years, I've headlined most of the biggest shows in the UK in regards to soca. Every band launch, all the big promoters and major promoters have either booked me at some point or every year. You understand what I mean? And that isn't because Trinidad Juicy is popular, it's because they see me graph over a period of time. So when you talk about paying your dues, it's being consistent over a period of time. Within the UK, we have this notion that I'm going to write a soca, I'm going to write a tune, I'm going to jump out. And it's like, compared to somebody who owning the craft, vocal lessons, marketing, investing, grinding, from open mics to carnival concerts to own shows, it's a different spectrum. So these are the things that, as an artist, I always say you don't look to get the bus in your first year. And I can't say what time or how long it should take for you to bust, but you need to let your work show before you have ego. Let your work show before you're outspoken. You understand what I mean? So that is my 2 pence.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with everything you say. One statement I will make is, even what you discussed about is the same overall, like even for the males. You had to look at it too, that from the female perspective, it's a lot less of us. So even on that front, it's a lot harder because now these females, where yes, I understand what you're saying, like the males will still look at it as, oh, he want to be better than me and, you know, all that stuff. But there's so many more of you that the chances of it happening is more likely. Whereas there's so many less females that know it's judged harder. It's judged in a different way because no, it's like if you get through, you do have to do a little extra. You do have to be a little bit more because no, they're comparing you to the Patrice and they're comparing you to the Destra and they're comparing you, and you had to stand separate from that versus the vast of the males that are already existing. And that whole ego thing, I agree with you 100%. Like that's one of my goals in general, like to never even reach that stage, to always remain humble, because again, tomorrow somebody could pop your bubble, or like Giselle had said, tomorrow your big song could never happen again. So
yeah, but sorry to interject as well too. It's also about respect. You know what I mean? A lot of the times too, like within our scene, for instance, I'm only speaking about here because I do operate here, right? We have people who were fans, like so someone says they were fans in the crowd, and now they are promoters. Now, I had to do this a couple of times, and it's not about ego or being a big artist or trying to be bigger or better than people, but after a period of time, there's a level of respect. You have to respect somebody for their craft or what they've done.
Right.
You understand what I mean?
And that comes with the work.
But the least, So a lot of the times too, sometimes you have to differentiate yourself because there's no respect. A man might book you for a show. I mean, not me personally. And I see he gave this artist who he brought in champagne, this, that. You come, he's like, yeah, wait there. You have 5 minutes before you go. Like, for me, that can happen to me, and it's never happened to me. And all the promoters could tell you that. For me, it's about a standard. You understand what I mean? And it's about a respect. So sometimes you have to move in a way where some people might perceive you as having an ego because you're not in everything, but it's something you have to do in order to get that respect, if you understand what I mean.
I understand. I'm not saying I agree 100% with that one, but I understand what you're saying though.
And I think it's how you carry yourself as well.
I think
before we continue on, I can hear some noise in the background. So everybody make sure you're on mute if you're not speaking, because I don't know what it is. I mean, I had my fan on. I took my fan off because I thought it was probably me. I don't know if people who are viewing live can hear any noise in the background, but just to say shout out to everybody who is on the live, make sure you please share it. This is part 1 of part 3. We will have more artists and more people on the show for the other segments, and of course coming up later is the Cackahole of the week. White Boy, I'm sorry I dropped off a little bit. I don't know what happened to my internet. You feel like if I'm borrowing internet from people in Wi-Fi, the thing just dropped out and everybody was buffering on my screen. White Boy, did you comment on the question?
No, I didn't know. What was the question again? I forgot. You know, we went off on a
we were talking about unity amongst the artists.
Yeah.
In the soca fraternity.
Yeah.
What's your experience?
To tell the truth, my personal experience. Yeah. I seen unity with just people embracing me.
Did people show you love? Did people show you love? The other artists show you love as a white boy coming into this whole thing. Did you get but who this white boy feel he is? Why is he jumping in soca? Why does white boy singing soca?
Yeah, but I don't really care though, because and they be saying that stuff is like I know my body and I know my mind and where I come from and my kind of journey. So I didn't really I didn't really see that. Obviously, there's a lot of people mainly people who don't know me and then they get to hear me or know, they think maybe, it's an opportunist kind of situation. But no, in general, when I actually did get the opportunity, which I'm so grateful for, to actually, I went to Grenada in 2019. I went out there for 3 weeks for the carnival season. And yeah, like every single artist hit me up and and just Killer bringing me out for 2 different shows, like Lava, Khalifa, all them people just bringing me out and talking to me behind the scenes, backstage. I'm not gonna lie, when I first came in the scene, because soca's is different to the kind of environment that I'm used to. I feel like in London, I'm expecting it to be like a rap industry where no one cares and everyone's kind of just crazy. And I had the attitude, I didn't take it seriously at first, I'll be honest. But when I started to see people really pull me aside and say, yeah, you need to behave in a certain way and have a certain, kind of understanding of things. And I see Trini Boy Juicy just laughing, But
no, because when you talk the things, man, you're talking about when you went Grenada. Before you went Grenada, what happened?
No. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like, when I came out with the song, people didn't want to see it do. I feel like a lot of people didn't want to see it do what it did, And maybe Trini Boy can give you the reasons why. I don't know.
We're talking about Big Ben, isn't it?
Yeah, Big Ben. When Big Ben first
Before you did Big Ben,
Huh?
when you wanted to come out as an artist, she talking
that-
about unity in the scene.
Yeah,
Was
so
there
the
any
unity-
unity?
But in terms of, but you saying about the artist though, the fans is a different thing.
Artists
But
from the artists.
Yeah,
everyone-
not fans, artists.
From the
Artists
artists.
and producers and promoters.
Okay, the artists show me love though. Like that, to tell the truth, like in the UK.
When you
like,
first started,
yeah, like no one
Pretty
really.
boy has got something.
Come down from there, pretty
I
boy.
wanna know who,
my
like,
boy, my boy. Don't freeze now, talk me things, man. When he first started,
From
So,
When
there.
I first started, I want to know who didn't show me unity. Then you
no,
know
who show you unity?
who showed
When
you.
you first started.
Oh, no. Trini Boy used to show me.
Yeah,
love
that
from
yeah,
the
that's a
side.
Chile boy. That's why you plug in for the answer.
I'm sorry.
I thought
No,
this
no,
song
no.
bacchanal.
No, it's bacchanal. Hold on, get it bacchanal. Let me get it.
No.
Let me get it
He
bacchanal.
learned
Let me
it
get
from me though. He learned it from me though. You see the marketing thing? He learned it from me though.
Yeah, all right, get it bacchanal. So White Boy was a soca goer, party fan, right? And he
Right.
used to always come, and he's close friends with one of the guys who put me on. And when he first started, I saw him dancing on stage, and I said I wanted to be in a video. It was a soca video. He came in, featured in the video. He danced, he whined. He was called White Boy Wine at them time. Then whining, ting. Boom, he gone viral. He bust big. He then turned around and said to me, Juicy, I want to be an artist. I tell him, come and meet me. We sit down in the cafe. We had a cup of tea.
English, a cup of tea, you had a cup of tea.
Right? And I said, when I said to him, if you want to do this, right? I said to him, if you want to do this, make sure you do it properly. Make sure you take it serious. Make sure, and I gave him all these advice. Now, I'm not sure if you do this with plenty of artists as well. When they talk about artists and unity, I want to know how much artists sit down with you and talk to you and give you advice.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. No, yeah. To tell the truth, Trini Boy Juicy, we had a proper link. One person as well that man had a proper link with and a role. Only just recently, to tell the truth, like a serious talk was Mersey as well, because I feel like personally my approach to going into music was like, yo, I'm a complete guest. I understand that. I'm aware of that. You know, being a white English guy coming, I'm a guest of the scene. So I had my own angle and my own way of doing things. Like, where I was like, okay, I was a bit rebellious. Like, I just kind of go for it. You know, and I was used to like going viral. That was my thing. Like, oh, let me go viral, views and numbers and like that was my approach to it. But I didn't, you know, now having that unity in the sense of like, you know, like Trini Boy Juicy said, meeting up and really having discussions. Like Big Ben hit 100K before I even knew what reverb was. Like I didn't even know, like, you know, I didn't even
Wow.
bro, like like yo, I didn't even know what like presets was and like plugins. Like I didn't even know nothing. Like I was doing shows and people were asking me backstage, yo, like, have you rehearsed? Like, do you know your set? I'm like, what? What do you mean? Like, play the song and let me perform. Like I had that approach. So it wasn't until, and that's why I think it's key, like we're talking about, to have that unity to say, yo, I can see what you're doing as well, but let me bring you to the side. Because I feel like if I didn't have that, I probably would just been a loose cannon still. Like, do you know what I mean? Whereas
Because that's exactly what you was.
Yes.
like, you know, I keep going to bust this man's head. And I tell him to leave him. I tell him to calm down.
I was one of them.
Wild at one time.
I'm not
wild.
I'm not. Listen, I'm not afraid to. No. I didn't want to bust your head, but I, when you came on the scene, and correct me if I'm wrong, there was a memorable moment in Berlin. Am I right or am I wrong? Before you became an artist,
before music, yeah. Berlin,
everybody knew you as a dancer, yeah?
Yeah.
Martin, what was that memorable moment? I wasn't in Berlin.
Alison Hines.
Was it Alison Hines or was it Destra?
Both of them.
He dropped
Easy Boy who was whining on stage with them.
Destra jump on him, he dropped Destra. I say, oh my gosh. And
look, I need to go gym. What do you mean?
That's how we remembered. Now, when he came on the scene,
could drop Lucy, right?
Listen. When he came on the scene as an artist, there was a level of arrogance that he had. Yeah. And it was an interesting conversation. I think you're very lucky that you had someone like Finnerbird Juicy to talk to you. The fact that you've evolved is a plus to you. Yeah. But when you came on the scene, you was this like, you know what I mean? Street kid, I'm coming here. I love the culture. I'm gonna do this, you know what I mean? Here's the wickedest thing that happened.
Bloody hell, man.
When he done the video, someone said to me, Martin, you need to lock up them QPR supporters. I said, what are you talking about? He said, you know White Boy Wine as a QPR supporter?
At the top in the video.
I like, bro. we need to talk to him and we need to calm him down. All of those things I remember clearly, you know, and at that point, I just steered clear of you because I just didn't want to get involved in an argument. But it just shows that where you were at that time, I was like, if our community embraces you the way you are at the moment, more for them. You understand? And to a degree, the hardships that you went through are probably testament to the fact that why you're still here at the moment. You know what I mean? Because if it had been too easy for you, then I think you would have taken it for granted.
Yeah. Can I just pick up the viewers in the comments are desperate to know, did you lift up Destra?
No, this is what happened. This is what happened. Let me break it down. I've never broke this down, you know. So like she was like, yo, we done like the competition thing, right? And I'm not gonna make it long. So like I won the competition, like with all the other guys and shit, like we dancing. Sorry for the language. But then she like, yo, show me a wine. But you know, one time I did this, I looked down, and as I'm looking down, the woman just jumped on me when I was looking down. Like I was like, I should not take my eyes off the prize, you know what I mean? So that was my fault. Yeah.
Oh, so she jumped on you?
Yes, but I wasn't even looking. So I'm like, oh damn.
You throw you down? You fall long when she jumped on you?
No, but at this point, I didn't fall down.
Did you fall?
I stayed standing, I stayed standing.
Yes, that's my fall. He dropped she.
No, I went with her. I went with her.
Wait, hold on. She jumped on you
down.
and she fall?
No, I went with her and try to make it look like I'm on top of her now, like that kind
of.
The
video.
You them tumble down.
Oh yeah.
But hear the joke. At that time, I was that type of guy where I was like, I'm so happy that happened because I'm like, I liked going viral. Like it was the time when Instagram was like, oh shit, like that's this. Like I'm happy that happened and it didn't go successful because that got more views than what it would have if it didn't happen. So like I was in that kind of mindset. Like I didn't care. I reposted it myself. Like I reposted it, like look, I dropped her.
So to the viewers, Destra fall first, all right. All you like too much of Bacchanal in the comments. Our live viewers is a set of Bacchanal, is asking a set of Bacchanal question. All you, if all you want to see it, it might be on YouTube. Or you can go and type it in and see what this when.
No, I'm gonna post it. It's in my camera roll.
All right, post it up. And just to say that we do have, just to give a little plug, we do have a soca songwriting session coming up with Daryl. I think it came up in the headlines underneath. So for any artists that are interested, I mean, Daryl is and has worked with a lot of the very well-known soca artists in Trinidad and in other places. So it's on Wednesday, 11th at 6 o'clock from 6 to 11. So if you're interested, do get in touch. And join the masterclass, the songwriting masterclass. And again, big up to everybody on live viewers. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Share the live. Stay tuned. We are on until 10:30 tonight. And of course, later on in the show, we will be talking about the Capital of the Week. We hope everyone is enjoying the show. And of course, this is one of 3. So big up to everybody on the live, everybody watching, and of course all the panelists. I just want to throw in a mix here at this point. We talk about unity, we talk about, a subgenre specific sound, that whole benchmarking thing. But I just want to ask the question because obviously being a Trinidadian, being around, you know, the music scene, being in it and around it for a long time, I remember, and this is me personally, when I made the transition and I tried to make the transition into soca, and certainly then leaving Trinidad and coming to the UK, certainly when I came here and I was making music here, I felt that, you know, in order for me to be accepted as an artist or sort of validified, I needed to have that validation coming from Trinidad. You know, if I didn't get that stamp of approval from Trinidad, I having my music played on the radio, having made links with the DJs, having, you know, gotten bookings from promoters to do shows there, that, you know, somehow that, you know, I probably wasn't hitting the mark or whatever, even though I was working with songwriters and producers from Trinidad, you know, but trying to get into the Trinidad market to feel that sense of validation. I no longer feel that. This was a long time ago, guys, when, you know, I'm talking about 20 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, because I've been here a long time. You know, that I felt that way. And do you feel that way? Do you feel that you need to have some sort of validation in Trinidad? Obviously, yes, soca being from Trinidad and it being the Mecca, but do you feel that sense of pressure as an artist that if you tune in bus back home, you know, if you tune in bus in the Caribbean, then somehow you're not validated as a soca artist? Do you feel that? I'll start with Ray.
In the beginning, I did. In the beginning, that was always my concern. Every single time a song dropped was like, but is it on the radio? Is it on the radio? Is it on the radio? And it's like, if it didn't make it on the radio, my brain was like, okay, well, scratch this song, you know, like this song wasn't it. But I want to say very recently kind of decided like, yo, is we're showing you the love is really, at the end of the day, to me, is what validated the music overall. Because recently we had the Sweetest Wine Challenge, and, you know, behind the scenes.
No, Martin, come down.
Don't get Martin excited. He loved that challenge. He
You know, he like looking at the challenge, Martin. You didn't bust no wine, did you? No, it was no goose for.
Listen.
Do it.
No, I know that was his thing. I know he liked the challenge, but
some people need to be there to monitor the whole thing.
You're the referee.
That was my job.
Yes.
Yeri.
Behind the scenes, what people didn't realize is there were a lot of people messaging me like, so how come nobody in Trinidad doing it? How come nobody in Trinidad this? Why nobody in Trinidad didn't do the challenge yet? And I didn't care, because I was like, yo, you have this girl in Switzerland. You have this girl in Canada. You have this girl in this place. And I just kind of started to realize, like, I don't care. Like, if the music is being heard, if the music is being received, no, by all means, home is home, right? And of course, who doesn't want to be accepted by your home? You know, you want to feel like you're representing for where you're from, where your culture is. And of course, by all means, I definitely want that as well. But at the same time, while I love my culture and I love this, it's a business still at the end of the day. So wherever those streams are coming from, wherever those purchases are coming from, that's where it's at least mentally for me at this point.
TJ, question to you, same question. You're on mute. Be honest, TJ.
What is the question?
About feeling, you know, having that pressure. Have you felt pressure, or have you felt like you needed to be validated? So think back to when you started off, TJ. Now we know you're a big artist and thing.
No. You see this notion of big artist. I don't like that. I don't like that label.
Oh gosh.
I know I play in two, so we can't play them. I play in two. Right? Long time I Giselle. So my thing is this. I have never felt the pressure to deliver, because I always believe that, you know, once you're doing something from your heart, you'll never feel pressure. You know what I mean? Once you're creating from a place of it's organic. You're creating from an organic place, from a pure place. You will never feel pressure because essentially you're making a product that is your true reflection and not something that is manufactured by hype or money or the wrong things. Then you know what I mean? Like that was never the focal point then of my creativity. So I've never felt pressure. What I did understand, because like everything, you need to understand your market. Like you can't do something that doesn't fall with it. So for instance, I'll give you an example. In the year of, you could say from 2011 to 2013, that's when they tried this island pop, you know, everybody was doing this kind of song, they sounded futuristic, right? That was a growth at a particular time where everybody was doing a particular sound. Now, if you had a song like WCK in those times, it would not hit because the movement of the music or what people was focusing on within that time, it wouldn't fall in. You understand what I mean? So you have to be, I guess, you have to be strategic in your approach and in your understanding of the scene. You have to monitor, you have to know. Now, it's very important to know your market. Now, knowing your market doesn't necessarily mean knowing what's a big tune, but knowing who is the key players that affect the industry, that affect the scene. You understand? Knowing who is the key, who is the people to know. You understand? And that's not talking about paying your way or befriending people, but it's understanding. You need to understand the business and you need to understand the process. So for me, I've never had the to summarize, I've never had the pressure of delivering or but I understood the importance of Trinidad. And no matter what people say, I understand, because as you guys know, or most of you would know, I've toured nationally as well as internationally, and everything comes right back to Trinidad. However, the difference for me was people say you have to bust in Trinidad in order to go global, but that wasn't the case, because for me, I think that my success came from outside of Trinidad, which was in New York. You understand? And the people who was then going to Trinidad took that hype with them. You understand? So that's kind of the game. You have to understand the game. You know, you have to understand the industry and the demands of what the market wants.
No, and that's a really good point, Daryl. I'm going to bring you in as well, because just to say, you know, that's a really good point in terms of having to bust in Trinidad to be accepted. I think being on the outside, you don't need it, you know, because the market on the outside, as you say, understanding the market on the outside is much bigger, you know. And sometimes, I don't know if you ever hear the saying, you have to go out to come in, because sometimes it have man that bust big on the outside, Trinidad didn't know it, and by the time Trinidad catch on, is because you done big on the outside already, and they're now playing catch up, you know. So whereas before, you know, there was this kind of thing that you had to bust back home and then you go out. No, you don't have to bust first there and then come out. You could bust outside and then come in. So you go in the reverse direction. Daryl, coming to you and your thoughts. You take yourself off me. Right, go ahead. Yeah.
Right. So here's what I would say about that. Like, I think everybody could put in the work on the outside wherever they're located. Bossing in Trinidad is that a harsh word to use. I wouldn't say anybody had to boss in Trinidad. But I think it's more of a Trinidad accept them. It always trickles back down to, are you accepted in Trinidad? But bossing Trinidad, you don't need to boss in Trinidad. But some way, somehow, it all comes back to the red, white, and black. Are you accepted there? Sometimes Trinidad don't have a choice when they hear everybody feeling it. Like, you don't have a choice. Like, I couldn't see Denry segment penetrating the Trinidad market before. Now Trinidad don't have a choice. You know, in your face. You either you get down or lay down or something, you know what I mean? And it's the same thing with bottle over your head, you know. It reached the point where it was undeniable. Trinidad didn't have a choice anymore.
Yeah.
So it's an acceptance thing. So at the same time, Trinidad didn't bust it, but they accepted it. After.
They accepted it. Yeah.
And it's bad that it had to be like that. And I think that is because, you know, yes, Trinidad is like the mecca of soca music and all that. So we're not disputing that, you know. That is home. I think Mecca, that is where it originated. But
Say
I
it
think
again now. Say it again because shit, I accept that now.
Hey, the biggest soca song, eh? I know business, the biggest soca song is from Montserrat. Behave yourself.
what song is that, man?
You mean you don't know Arrow Boy?
The big well.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about, man. But
Arrow wrote Feeling Hot at Hot in Trinidad.
context.
Here that boy. Come on. Continue, Darren.
I think you really have to be able to use the things around you. You know, the UK is a huge market. And it's weird that, you know, you're in such a big market, but trying to come back to the island, you know. I see it necessary to get back to the island. That is necessary, you know. But I feel as though, listen, build your thing, do what you need to do and build your thing. You know, even for me as a songwriter, I think I went out and bust there first and then came back home. I remember grinding and doing my thing as a songwriter in Trinidad, and no kind of commercial success happened to me. You know, but I was always I'm a make it happen kind of guy, you know. I forget excuses. I know what I'm capable of, and I find my opportunities, and I made it happen. You know, the first song I sold was probably like $1,500 TT dollars, and then the second song, I don't even want to call the number on this, but it was ridiculous. But that was because I have always been the guy that, listen, I made up my mind early on that music was the thing that had to take care of me.
Yeah.
So I found a way to make this make sense.
Yeah.
You know? So I would do proposals to corporate institutions and this and that. I write a song about mosquito for the Pan American Health Organization and all that kind of thing. I was finding opportunities. And then I got discovered by all that time I was still being an artist too. And then I got discovered on the outside by my mentor, Corey Rooney. And they started, you know, bringing me back and forth. And I think is when Trinidad people now in the industry started seeing me outside doing stuff, and he in Paramount Studios, he in Jungle City Studios, and I think that is when now they're interested, because
they start to sit up and take notice.
Yeah, how we reach out there. I'll get called from certain producers. I hope you're linking, man. I hope you're playing my beats. Like, yo, you're taking me on, you know. And then when I got back home now, but I never wanted to jump into the business of soca. That wasn't my intention. I always felt like the standards wasn't where I wanted it to be, and I didn't want to affect what I was doing, you know. So I was more R&B, pop, Afrobeat, all them kind of stuff. But then it hit me one day that I had to listen. You can't just stand aside and watch your thing, your home, you know, not live up to that, you know. So I felt more now like I needed to, you know, in the cliche thing, be the change that you want to see, you know. So now you could jump in now with everything that you've been learning, come in now and try and affect the thing in the best way that you could possibly do. Whatever you learned out there, you could come home now and try and do the thing. But it happened out there first. Now, it may not happen the same way for everybody else, but I witnessed the whole get out and come back in thing personally. But it never stopped me, you know? But do your thing. Do it however you think you need to do it. And make sure you're comfortable with your product.
Of course. And I could ask that same question of the producers. I see everybody getting chuckles because of the comment. We have you here just for your good looks to balance the screen. Everybody getting chuckles. I see TJ, if I follow you, I will start to laugh. And I'm watching you and I try not to watch you so that I wouldn't start laughing. Because if I start laughing, then all fall down. You understand? And I seen Marsha laughing. Everybody getting tickles because The people in the comments are they're savage boy.
You lot need to behave yourself, man. Behave yourself.
You know what I mean? We have a special part for Cam. Cam is here is in his capacity as a videographer and stuff. We have that's one of the topics tonight is around the music videos and stuff. Where this guy is very versed. So he's not here just for his good looks and to balance out the screen. All your people too bad. You understand?
Wicked,
like
you know, not bad. Wicked.
You understand? They like too much of bacchanal. You know?
Wait, you have an next one?
You understand? But okay, so this is how we're gonna do it because I'm keeping an eye on time as well. We're supposed to finish by 10:30 and we have to come to a whole of the week. But just quickly, TJ, I feel we had to bring you back again, you know, TJ. Because you had an experience with Double M himself, Monk Monty. That whole story around this song, we might have to put that in part 2 for people to come back in part 2 to hear about.
I mean, trying to get blacklisted again.
So we go hold that one. Okay. So
watch that. Hold on.
Uh-huh.
Big up Cam King, man. Cam, them. Watch that. I swear, I telling you, big up. Big up yourself, man.
They're savage. So we go. I feel we had to bring the Marshall story. You know, people, if you want to hear about the Marshall story with TJ, you have to tune in part 2 of Slayer's Hot Sauce, talking about the whole soca industry. But you know, just to ensure that Cam obviously gets something to say, people, before we go into Cack a Whole of the Week, we want to talk about music videos and the music videos of the artists and in general in the UK with our soca artist Cam. This is all you know. You know, because you've been so good for the whole show. Your experience working with artists, you know, what's your what's your experience about working with artists on music videos, and you know, any tips that you can give to artists as well, things to consider when they are making a music video.
Yeah, so I think Shaka talked about earlier, was talking about like content. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And content is everything. So like I kind of saw like a little gap in the market in terms of, you know, the visuals, especially in the UK,
mm-hmm.
you know, and bringing that visuals to life. And it's like, I don't really see that, you know what I mean? So I just kind of wanted to help, you know, bring those visuals to life, because I think that we've got talent, you know, White Boy Winer, Trini Boy Juicy and stuff like that. And when you look at our visuals, it's like, do we really have any visuals? And this comes to branding as well. Branding, marketing, quality, consistency, and stuff like that. And it's all about being serious. You see what I'm saying? And as we're talking about Trinidad, we're always going to get compared to Trinidad and the Caribbean over this side kind of thing. So I also asked the question, it's like, what are we doing in terms of our visuals and our music videos? You know, does it exist? Is it, you know, where are we going for that? What is the actual plan, you know, going forward in terms of, and I'm speaking to the artists as well, kind of thing, soca artists, what's the levels?
That's something I wanted to ask. Where do we go from here? Because as an artist, you put out a video, you know, what is your intention, you know, with that video? Is it that you're looking for it to reach people through social media or through, you know, standard media channels? So like, you know, on, I don't know, MTV, BET, those kind of stuff. You know, what's in your mind when you make a soca video? What are you thinking of?
So my mind is, I don't like to do things that is kind of the same.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is like, I don't want people to say, oh yeah, let's go to kind of like I don't know, down the road and let's film. And there's this like a wall behind you. My thing is like, let's go to the beach. You see what I'm saying? Like, if we got beaches here, like, you know what I mean? I like to do extravagant things, something that's different, you know? But it's really, I think for me, it's mindset. It's having that mindset in terms of as an artist, where do you see yourself going? Because I've had a couple of artists that's come up to me and said, look, this is my budget. you know, and it's quite low, and this is what I want to do. But for me, I'm like, if you want to take this seriously, you know what I mean, you have to invest. And Daryl was talking about that earlier in terms of like investing in yourself and quality and stuff like that. So if you're not seeing that kind of like the vision in terms of where you want to go, you know, from a videographer point of view, how can we kind of help you? Does that make sense?
Get there. I mean, we have some artists on the line who are making some comments, you know, big up to Tara, big up to Paho, talking about, you know, the artist having a vision, researching the videographer. Tara make a point saying a lot of the artists don't want to do a video unless it's song bust. They don't use it to help the song get big. I don't know if that's true. You know, if any of you feel that way. Just quickly, if I could get a summary from the three artists, because we need to come on to Kakahole every week. So Ray, then White Boy, then TJ, in terms of doing a music video, what's your rationale for doing a music video? And, you know, do you think that it's necessary? And what are you looking for when you do a music video?
I do think it's necessary. I do agree with somebody in the comments that you should do your research and make sure that the videographer that you're using could produce quality, because I don't think it makes any sense if the video is subpar, because to me, if you're going to go with quality, you have to go with quality across the boards for all aspects, right? In terms of a video, I think it's very helpful for your music. I don't think you should be waiting for the song to bust to be doing a music video. I think that if anything, the music video could even be what pushes it. It could be what maybe makes it bust, because people are seeing a visual that could help them connect better to your song. Whether it's that they feel it more, whether it's that they just prefer it, they're going to sit down and listen anyway to see something rather than to just listen. I think doing visuals for your songs is a great marketing strategy to use. And if you're going to invest, it's like you're pouring it back into yourself one time, because you're putting all the money to market, but it's still a visual of you. It's still something that represents the song that you created. And I definitely don't agree with waiting until a song busts to do it. I think if you could afford it, and again, make sure it's quality. If you could afford it, do it, put it out, give the people visuals. It's only going to grow the song. It's only going to grow your brand. It's only going to grow your content.
But this is what we're talking about, branding.
Yeah.
And as soca artists, and you know, we just have to really just think in terms of like, what is the plan? What is the vision, kind of thing? Like, are we just going to be putting out music, you know, just for a season, and then the hype is there, all our boys, girls, whatever, are celebrating the music, and then it dies down, kind of thing? What's our plan this year? You know, what are we going to do in the first quarter? What are we going to do in the second quarter? You see what I'm saying? How many videos are we going to bring out this year? If that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. White Boy, your thoughts?
My thoughts is that, yeah, like when I first came into music, I didn't even think twice. Like, I always thought, like, I don't know, I guess again, like, I know I'm using the same references, but going back to just what I'm used to seeing the likes of GRM Daily and Link Up TV, like UK music, it was, you couldn't put out a song without a music video. Like, you can't, like, it doesn't exist in the UK scene in that sense. So when I came into soca, I was like, well, that song can't go out until, like, people was telling me, yo, just put out the audio. I was like, what? Like, I didn't understand that. I was like, nah, like, we have to do a music video. And that was my whole mentality from the beginning. So yes, I have put out audios since, but I don't feel comfortable doing it. Like, I feel like it's so important for, like, I feel like music is more than just the sound. I know, yes, the quality needs to be there, of course, but it's about personality, about your brand, about, you know, maybe your hairstyle, maybe the way you dress, you know, to connect with your people, as in, like, they see, oh, he's got personality, like, he can dance, like, he can dress, like, he's got good friends, he's got vibes, you know what I'm trying to say? And I feel like that when I first came into the game with Big Ben, I don't think that song would have done anything if it didn't have a music video. So I feel like, going back to what Ray was saying, yeah, like, I don't think my songs would bust if I didn't have a video. Like, I don't think that song personally would have bust without a music video. And I feel like going forward, I'm working on one right now, like, and no one's heard the song, like, and the first time they hear the song will be when the music video comes out. So yeah, so it's important. I feel like it's a visual representation of you, and music is just like, you know, like when we see rappers and stuff, like nowadays it's a world where we can visually see what people talk like, how people, what they drink, how they live, their lifestyle. Like it's a part of an attraction to an artist, like how they connect with you as a fan. Like they want to know what you do, they want to know how you dress, they want to know all these things. So I feel like, yeah, you have to show them. Do you know what I mean? You have to show them your personality, and let that come across for them to, you know, some people might not even like the song, but they might like the video. They might like you as a person. There's some artists in the UK that I think their music is trash, but their music videos are so good. They do so much numbers, and then they get bookings, and you know, and I just think, yeah, it's a very, very, very important part. So Cam King, we're gonna link up, bro. Trust me.
Listen. Real talk, because and this goes back to we're talking about unity. You see what I'm saying? So when I do my videos, right, you can ask anybody. I send it to about 5-10 people before I even post my videos. You see what I'm saying? For their opinion and stuff like that, right? Because this goes back to what Jarvis was saying earlier about, you know, we need people to be honest. You see what I'm saying? So when you're ready, we'll do this video. Yeah. I'm here to help anybody. That's serious.
Yeah, you know I would prefer someone who's like not just gonna give me the best quality, but also gonna like, they want the same thing as me. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like they want to see the UK soca thing kind of, you know, take track, and you know what I mean, and launch, you know, and do numbers and do big things. So like me and you, if me and the videographer have the same vision, then it you know, that's a dream team. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, bro. Because that's what I'm saying. It's like I'm not just a videographer. I just do videos and then that's it. I put passion into it. You know what I'm saying? There's culture, passion, there's unity. There's so much, because a couple of years back, and Jimmy Boy will tell you about that. We'll go back to the coffee shop. me and TC sat down, and he was telling me about his ideas about branding and stuff like that. And the passion there, that fuels me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Passion fuels me. I'll tell you what fuels me is passion, quality, and vision.
Yeah, vision, yeah, for real.
Yeah, absolutely. Quality has to be a part of it. Just to say, so we're meant to wrap up in 2 minutes at 10:30. We are going to go over slightly because we do need to get the Kaka Hole of the week in. We have 2 Kaka Holes this week. It's, you know, so much I can't use the colorful language I'd like to say, but there's so much of stuff going on that we not have one, we have 2. And one is a resident Kaka Hole. So good that person has been awarded the badge of honor of being the Kaka Hole, the resident Kaka Hole, not just Kaka Hole of the week. I'm going to come back to TJ, and then I also want to get a perspective from Jarvis and from Martin in terms of this whole music video thing. But if you could keep your comments concise on that topic, and then we will wrap up and go to Kaka Hole of the week. So TJ, your thoughts around music videos?
By the way, I have to go soon, you know, unfortunately. Like, I actually have to go, you know. Like, I really don't want to, but, like, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a little thing. Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, you know, don't put no Wi-Fi. I go.
Let's see, man.
Thanks. Because something I don't know, vibes.
Yes, and thanks for being part of this show and the first installation on this topic. So we do appreciate you, White Boy. So whenever you have to go, feel free to go, and thanks for
I hear for a minute.
Okay.
I appreciate that. I want to say
you just say what's going on now. You're taking my time, nigga. Let me give my time. Let me give my minute now.
Take your minute.
When you go White, don't drop her, yeah? Don't drop her.
So there's a few, like, even within our industry, There's a lack of vision in regard, and I'm not just talking about now, I'm talking from before. You know, so when I first started to do videos, I didn't want to do a video where you jump and wave and rags and flags and hey, it's carnival. No, there needs to be concept, there needs to be video treatment, there needs to be a direction in regards to how you look visually. Your location, you know, your budget. A lot of people want to do videos with £150 or £200, whatever.
Listen.
And you want a Spielberg finish, and you know it doesn't work like that. So for me, I would always say, like, doing a video is not just about doing a video for a song, but it's understanding the importance of a video, how it could help with the view of your song, how it could bring, I guess, the audio to life. You know what I mean? So it's how you package that. And then it also goes to, like, a lot of people have played for years, even within our scene. You know, a lot of people just used to use the whole carnival costumes as a concept throughout in every video, everything. Hence why a lot of people would think carnival is only, you know, the music is only good for carnival time. You know, our concept wasn't international or as broad as every day. You know what I mean? And then also it comes right back down to the concepts of the songs. If you're singing about jump on the wave or high energy or wine or hold a girl and jam, it will always be that visual. So you need to think about your concept. Is it happy? Is it sad? Is it emotional? Are you telling something? Is it storytelling? Is it back and forth? Is it chanting? Is it, you could do a Juve song, but make it so artistic that you have to be out of the box, you know, and I don't think a lot of people think that deep in regards to visual. So look out for my EP. I have about 6 videos lined up ready. So, you know what I mean? That we've been working.
But does the video need to be linked somewhere into the message or the story of the song? Because sometimes I see some music videos, you singing about one thing, but the video have no correlation whatsoever to anything that you're singing, the lyrics.
But so, I said as well too, Giselle, another thing, like a lot of people forget to focus on too. You can have a video, you can have a good video, you can have a good song, but one of the most important parts that people forget to do is the marketing. What campaign do you have? What is the plan for when you release a song and 3 weeks after the song release? What are you doing? You know, a lot of people, because we're in a time now where, and there's no shameless plug, but the people feel by just sending it to Julian's promo and that's it, that your song will make. No, it doesn't work. You have to do the ground. You have to do radio. You have to do blast. You have to do dub plate. You know how much dub plate we do right now? You know what I mean? So it's like,
I get none.
I never.
You gotta pay. I know you are cream.
Yeah, I need one.
I let her time. Yeah, don't worry. I'm gonna The thing is this: is that there is so much behind this concept of being an artist. Is not a hype, and a lot of people take carnival and soca and sorry, I might be generalizing, but here in the UK as a time. Oh, it's July, August again. Hot, they release stuff. You have to put yourself in the mode that whole year as an artist. How am I representing my brand, my song, the concept, visually? If you're looking like a vagrant, people will take you for a vagrant. You understand what I mean? So it's all of these things, man. So I know we could go on whole night, but well,
it's about it, as you say, investing in yourself, investing in your craft. What you put out there, whatever standard you put out, is how people will see it. You know, whatever you put out is how people will judge you. So it's really important.
Sorry to cut you off, but the last thing which is most important is find who you are. Don't try to be like a Marshall. Don't try to be like a Kes. Don't try to be like a It's Ray. You know what I mean? Don't be like Ray. Don't try to be like Juicy. Don't try to be like White Boy. But be who you are. Find who you are. What's your style? What's your pocket? What's your vibes? You know? A lot of people feel, well, if I try to be like this one, then I will get... No, you have to find who you are and what works for you. And
but and even when you try to find who you are as well, sometimes people just compare you. That's inevitable. You know, people just compare you, because that's happened to me. I remember when my hair was short and a mohawk, everybody was calling me Fayan. It's like, come on, you know, it's like
it was calling you Heavy T Bumper.
One time Giselle was hosting. I was performing for Sparrow, and Giselle was in there, and Giselle started pell back. So once that your boys are up, pick up yourself, Giselle, man.
Let me give you a very, very quick story. And someone in here is going to remember this. As a promoter, and not even a promoter, as someone that's been around in the industry, I may get contacted by a local borough, and they say, Martin, we're having an event, and we have X amount of money, and I need 2 artists, and I need you as a DJ there. Yeah. I said, all right, I'm going to bring an artist with me. I called him. I said, this is my budget. Win, lose, or draw, no matter how much people are there, you're going to get your money because it's a London borough thing, yeah? He said, no problem. I'm bringing my dancers with me. I said, King, I only have this amount of money, you know. He said, no, that ain't nothing. He came, he performed to 10 people. This event flopped. Like I said, remember, it's a London borough thing, so his money's safe. He brought his dancers on. He did a show like you swear there's 10,000 people there. And it was that day, after booking him, I said, I'm always going to get value for money. The man picked out a little girl in the crowd. He sung to her. Yeah, you're smiling. He sung to her. She will never, ever forget the day that Trini Boy Juicy sang to her. You understand? And Trini Boy Juicy has shown that consistency. There's a couple of times when we've done band launches, and again, he's got his dancers. And again, I've said to him, because I don't like to get into no argument with nobody about no money. King, this is what I could afford to pay you. Even if it comes out of my own pocket, this is what I could afford to pay you. King, don't worry about that. Me and the dancers go split it. And it was never, ever enough money for him and his 2 dancers. But as far as 3 dancers, but as far as he was concerned, these shows were his investment into the business. Okay. And that came to light. 2 to 3 years later, Trini Boy Juicy was headlining, shows all over the place. And what I would say to artists, and I'm coming to the video part of this, is that you've got to move with the times. Mm-hmm. 15 years ago, as a DJ, I would have been like, yeah, boy, send me a tune. One day, me and Bunji Garlin had a conversation. Garlin said to me, I don't need you to bust my tune again. I said, very, very true. He said, but I still need your love. I said, you will get. You understand? I don't look to go and bust an artist tune now because they've got how much 100,000 followers on YouTube. They got a bigger audience than the radio station's ever going to have anymore. You understand? But you still need that consistency on the radio. You understand? So I had to adapt as a radio presenter now, where I'm not looking to be the first person to play your song anymore, but I'm looking to show support to you. Most of you that are on here have had that support from me. Yeah? And a video is part and parcel of a modern day package now. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just part and parcel of what you do. And as White Boy Winer said, sometimes it'll be the first thing you put out. It won't be you're releasing the song to see, nah man, I go put out the video because that YouTube and that Instagram, I go in and bust the video one time, boom. This is me releasing my song, and then you've got to follow it up. But other people in the industry have to understand what your role is. Yeah. If Shaker says to me he has a rhythm, I'm going to support it. You understand? If BP Soca say they got a rhythm, I'm going to support it. You understand?
That's an interesting point that you raised, Martin, and that's something that we're going to pick up in the other shows as well, is the importance of airplay. And does it still have a role to play? We're not going to touch on that tonight at all because that's a whole nother discussion in itself. And when we talk about airplay, not only in the UK, but also in Trinidad and in the Caribbean. But just to wrap up, so keeping an eye on time, Shaker and then Daryl, just quickly give me your thoughts on the whole music video thing, and then we're going to jump into Cackahole of the week because I know people waiting on the Cackahole, and I really want to get Juicy. Could you stop doing that, please? You distracted me. Why this boy so yes, we go talk about we bringing you back on TJ. Lord have mercy. Hey, Shaker and then Darrell. Shaker first, your thoughts on the video thing from a producer perspective and working with artists.
I feel the music videos UK they're too conservative. You know what I mean? People nowadays, I like to say people nowadays very smart and they like to see things. If we watch all of us watch Netflix and things, we need to see more. We don't want to see, as Shinny Boy said, 2 costumes and you started up on a wall down Labrador Grove taking a video. People want to see content. You know what I mean? But again, it's gonna stem from the song anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's what I feel. I feel it too conservative.
Money in it. Content costs money. And that begs the bigger question around the industry. Because if you had to put on, let me say, £1,000 for music videos as an artist, are you gonna make that back through bookings? You understand? Artists might be looking at the bottom line because remember they're self-funded. So can you
not just money?
Can you do a video on a budget? You know, can you do a video for £500 if you have to invest yourself in an artist, a good quality video? I hear TJ saying yes. Can you do a good quality?
Yeah, you can. My thing is, it's like £500. You can do a good video out of £500, right? But if you have no idea what you want, right, and that's the problem. You see what I'm saying? Like, because as they were saying before about the content, the video brings out, you know what I mean, the artist's character and everything, right? But a lot of artists, they don't have a vision. You need to have a vision, you know, because some artists come up to me and say, look, this is my budget, and Cameron worked with that. I'm like, what's the vision? You need to tell me about, you see Trini Boy was talking about the vision earlier. What is the vision? What's the plan? You know, you can't just leave it up to me to say, you know what, okay, here's the treatment. I need to know your plan. I want to bring out your song. I want to bring out your vision.
Yeah. Just picking up a comment in the comment, Kurt Noel, it's not just what you pay the videographer, editor, it's everything else as well. Darrell, could I just get your thoughts on this quickly before we move on to the long-awaited Cackahole of the week?
Sure, no problem at all. I mean, I definitely believe that visuals is important. Of course, that's part of the storytelling. And like everybody said, you know, you had to invest in your thing. You know, you had to kind of know what it is you want. You know, if you already have a small budget, but you don't know what you want, or what you do want is something big and extravagant, like how you gonna get there? It's not a magic show. You know, but respect people craft too, because the videographers, them working hard, they have mastered their craft. But you come to pull rabbits with your 200 pounds or your 200 US. Like what you want to do? You know, you feel this.
Well, as TJ say, you want a Spielberg production with 100 pounds.
Exactly.
But listen, it's a disrespect. Just like you said, it's a disrespect, right?
Yeah.
Man saved up my coins, to buy one of the most expensive cameras, and a man's gonna come to you and say, "This is my budget for £100."
Exactly. So
for me, that's disrespect. That's disrespectful because you know what? It's like I know what I can do. You see what I'm saying? Like an hour every night, I learn my craft. You see what I'm saying, right? So when you're coming to me with like £100, £200, that kind of shows where your mindset is.
Yeah, well, it's just like a promoter telling you that what you perform at the event for free food, in it. You know, they pay you for they'll get I mean,
yeah, but that part you gotta take the food in the beginning.
No, but
don't
they
take the food now.
No, but they pay you no money. They just tell you again exposure and food. You know what I mean?
No, well, you as an artist or individual had a value whether it worked for you to do that. If it's an event,
what is your vision? You know,
what is your vision?
Of course. No, but I'm saying it's just like I'm saying, you know what I mean? How many times have we, if the promoter level with you, you know, and on a one-to-one and say ting, because I've done it before many times, you know. Yeah, no problem. I mean, I really need the exposure, but supporting what you're doing, that's all right. You know, that's cool. But you know, it has some other promoters, that big event, you know, they're making money and they won't get you nothing. It's like, no, sorry, that ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? If it's a little something and you wanna reel with the promoter, then fine, yeah, no problem. But as Cam saying, if you put in the draft, you know, you can't, and as you say, you can't come with a £50 budget, a £100 budget, and then one the world fit. You know what I'm saying? As an artist, you put in your craft as well, you invest in yourself. You know, if the promoter wants you on a show, then they need to pay for you, and they have to respect you as an artist and respect your work. Okay, so that wraps up our discussion around the soca music and around soca industry in the UK. Do remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is part one of a 3-part series. We will have other artists, DJs, promoters on the show, UK and also based in the US and hopefully in Trinidad as well. We will get them on the show. And just to round up, remember to tell everybody, tell your friends and everything like that. And thanks for tuning in. But we need to come on to the Kaka Hole of the week. And this week we have 2 Kaka Holes. And for anybody that don't know what a Kaka Hole is, it is a jackass. Somebody who jackass the thing, to put it quite nicely. Somebody who is a right idiot. You just look at how they behave anything, but that person is a real fool. What do this person? What kind of foolery is this? That is a Kaka Hole. As we say, Kaka meaning shit. You know, that's it. Your shit tongue. You understand? You're full of shit, if I could say that. So in terms of the Kaka Hole, the first one, I'm going to let Marsha take this one because the first Kaka Hole of the week is sponsored by Marsha from Pondy Road, UK. So Marsha, please let our viewers know who the Kaka Hole of the week is.
Yes, drum roll, please. Kaka Hole of the Week award goes to Shilpa Patel.
AKA Shitty Patel, AKA Pretty Patel.
Yes, Miss Pretty. Was her name Pretty or Shilpa? See, I got her name wrong. It's Pretty.
Shilpa, you got Shilpa from Miss Pretty.
It's Pretty Patel. Yes, the MP woman. See, I get
that from she was awarded Kaka Hole, resident Kaka Hole. She's not just of the week, but she will be our running Kaka Hole. She's our resident Kaka Hole. Yeah, she's
can't leave there.
Yes,
can't leave that position. It's where she lives. It's where she stay. It was she favor. I can't take her. I can't take this woman. She's full of so much rubbish. I don't know if she owns a mirror. Does she look in the mirror to look at herself, to see where she comes from, to see her background? She's lost. She needs help. If anything, just take your paycheck, woman, and stop talk.
Well, they need to get rid of her. For anybody don't know, Priti Patel is the current Home Secretary of the UK as part of the Conservative government, and her policies as Home Secretary can be viewed as racist, especially towards Black people. You know, her handling of the whole Windrush bit, immigration bit, has been a bit questionable. She has been found as a bully. You know, there have been people, her staff, that have resigned, and there was an investigation which the Prime Minister, you know, kind of rubbished basically, and still stood by her side, where staff accused her of being a bully. And she comes across very arrogant. And the reason why we have conferred upon her the title of Kaka Hole of the Week and Resident Kaka Hole is in her latest what's the word? Comments in the news around the England team taking the knee for the football match recently. So the recent football match, there were some players that took the knee in support of the Black Lives Matter movement. And our Home Secretary said that, you know, the fans that were in the stadium that booed the players on the field for taking the knee, were in their right to boo. So they were in their right to boo. And, you know, her tone was, you know, not
she supported them.
Yes, it sounded
them booing.
like she supported them. the interviewer, it was on the interviewer, did ask her if she would boo. And of course, being a skilled politician, she dodged the question. And of course, rightfully so, she shouldn't answer it. Or just come out and say no. But she didn't, she dodged the question. But said that the fans did have the right to boo those players who took the knee on the field, and hence the reason why she has been given the title of Cacahole of the Week and Resident Cacahole, Miss Pretty Patel. Right, and then the next Cacahole of the Week, Marsha.
That's not me.
No, I thought it was you. The next
Who else?
Is Gorilla Girl's sister.
Oh, that's cool. Yes.
Yeah. So if you'd like to enlighten us on why she was given the title of Cacahole of the Week, Gorilla Glue.
So apparently, Gorilla Glue Girl has a sister who supposedly caught her boyfriend texting another lady. Now he hasn't cheated; she just caught him texting, and she thought it was a smart idea to put hair removal in the shampoo. Meanwhile, this gentleman has locks, long locks.
Yes, beautiful long locks.
Yeah, so obviously, she, as his woman, she's tending to his hair, washing his hair, and she's pouring in the hair remover cream mixed with the shampoo. And of course, the locks are gonna fall out. For me, that's too far. That's bad mind. That's wicked girl, wicked. I don't agree with that. That's more than wicked. My dad's a Rastafari. You know how long it takes to grow locks? Oh, no, seriously, that's wicked. If that's my son or my nephew or my cousin, listen, stay far from that. He didn't even cheat. He was only texting.
Yeah, exactly. Which is the question. How far would you go in a relationship? Like, oh my goodness, we have 8 minutes left. I'm not gonna go over, but just quickly, and having men on the panel, it would be good to hear the men's perspective around how you feel about that. What is too far? I think she went too far. She shouldn't have put hair removal to take off the man locks. You as a man, how would you react to that? If that was your girl and she shampooed your hair with hair removal and then you were bald afterwards, what would be your reaction, guys? Who wants to go first? You can jump in. TJ, well, I see you burning. Martin, go ahead.
I would be sending my family visitors permits because I'd be in jail. I'd be in jail. I'm sorry. I'd be in jail. That can't happen. And I'll be honest with you, I don't believe that story. I don't believe that one sister got all this publicity doing one thing, then a man go get his hair taken off with hair. What was he thinking when she was rubbing his hands in his head?
It was shampoo.
She mixed it with the shampoo and leaned him over the bathtub, washing his locks.
How many times did she wash his hair?
I don't know,
Well, probably maybe she accustomed to it. That's why he trusts her to wash his hair.
I don't believe any of that. And with regards to the other cacao, could I just say that she has studied cacaology?
Right.
She has a PhD.
She has a master's degree in it. You understand?
Yes.
A well-endowed West Indian man horned her.
Yes, I agree. I feel it was Jamaican too, Papi. Just saying.
I ain't on it. All I'm saying is a well-endowed West Indian. Wicked horn, wicked. And from that, she can't recover.
She can't recover. No, that's why the woman bitter. It probably was a monster ration.
Hey. Come down from there.
To say regarding all of those things, it leads me to my next release, which is coming on the 25th of June. Shameless plug. No. It's actually funny because the name of the song is called Mr. Counselor. And we talking about the what within our community. How do we feel about counseling? Are we confident about it? Do we take it? I think both the two cacaos you mentioned need counseling. You know what I mean? Maybe they need to speak to somebody about their cacaholism that they suffer with, you know.
Yeah, so I definitely think Pretty needs some counseling. She needs help. That woman is bitter. She needs help. I feel that one she get, as Martin say, really did her over. But TJ, if your girlfriend did put hair removal cream and wash out your nice hair, what you gonna do?
First of all, my girlfriend wouldn't be spiteful, you know.
What you gonna do? That's not what I ask you.
No, that's not my girlfriend. That's not my job. We ain't gonna be together. And I mean, why she putting hair removal in my hair? I go wash my own hair. What she washing my hair for? You understand? And I mean, if she did that, maybe she sees the best for me.
Exactly.
I mean, she thinks that my locks is a burden and you know, and doing it all the time. So I mean, I'm an understandable guy, but
yeah, you're going to get some counseling in it.
She will come and get some counseling for sure.
Yeah, and you get some counseling. I bet she get counseling. Shaker, what you would do if that was you, boy?
Hi.
Can you remember?
What? I remember what?
Can you remember?
Which one was that?
Well.
Hey. We ain't doing that tonight. We ain't doing that tonight. Yo, that's a hard one. I mean, I guess me now, but I probably just walk out the house and say, hey, you know what? You go your way, I go my way. That's me now. Maybe younger, you know.
That's you now.
I would have seen Chinny Boy song 20 years ago.
Which one? Bottle Overhead?
Yeah.
Nah. You know what, Shaker? When I sing, she's driving me mad. She's driving me crazy.
Daryl looks so reserved. Daryl looks like if he'd have just, you know, take it on the chin, innit, Daryl?
Nah.
That's
me at all. I don't care why I do it. If you doing anything to me physically that's going to affect me physically, that's a big no. I don't care what. I'm not wrong, I'm strong. But you're not doing anything to me that's going to affect me in a physical way.
Yeah,
My
your body, yeah. I hear that. And Cam, it looked like Cam sit down there quite reserved as well. Cam, you not take it on the chin?
Listen. If any girl tried to do that to me, yeah. by the morning, she'd be bored like me, you know. I'm telling you. Because that's an offense. That is an offense.
Yeah. That's definitely taking it too far. Way too far. I think Ray just jumped back in, you know, getting it from a lady's perspective.
And she going and address that, yeah? I bet you she going and address that.
Who is that?
Ray.
Oh, Ray not there, Ray. Ray, have you been listening? Have you heard?
I just got back some juice on my phone there, so.
We on the whole of the week segment. We have to wrap it up. But basically, this girl put hair removal cream in her boyfriend's in the shampoo and washed off her boyfriend's locks. So we were just getting reactions from the men, you know, what they would do. You know, Marsha and I think that's taking it too far. Literally, I can't even get your comments in probably in 2 seconds. If you could say what your reactions are. Too far? She take it too far.
If I had reached that far, I done. So
yeah.
That's physical and mental abuse.
Of course it is. Of course it is, and that's definitely wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, we have gone over time. I mean, we were supposed to finish half an hour ago. Thank you so much to everybody that has stayed with us live. Thank you to all of the panel, and of course, you can follow all of us on Instagram. Everybody's Instagram accounts. Thank you to Cam King. Thank you to Chinny Boy Juicy, to Marsha, to Martin J, to It's Ray, to DJ Shaker, to White Boy, and to Daryl. Don't forget the songwriting session with Daryl. Do get in touch with Carnival Slays if you want more information I am really, really sorry about the background noise. I can hear it, and I saw people making comments. It sounded like somebody either popping popcorn or typing in the background. I don't know what's causing the background music noise. I hope it's not me. My name is Giselle Carter. Do follow me and everybody else. Thank you so much for logging in. And don't forget, look out for details of part 2 of this show, because we're going to keep the fire rolling. We have plenty things to talk about when it comes to soca. We can't fit it into one segment alone. So make sure you tune into part 2. Thank you for being a wonderful audience. Look for the video on the Carnival Slayers page when it is posted up, and just watch it over, share it. And thanks again for everybody tonight. Thank you, Martin, for waxing warm and getting everybody all settled earlier on in the show. Thank you very, very, very much to everybody. Closing words, Martin, you want to say something?
Yeah, can I just say, if you're watching this channel and you haven't subscribed to it, subscribe to it. Click the bell and you will get a reminder every time a show like this comes up. All right? Subscribe to Carnival Slayers YouTube channel, and make sure you click that bell, and you will always get a reminder when shows like this are coming. If you had asked me to name the Cacahole of the Week, Trini.
Look how you're going to wind him up now. Go ahead.
I would have asked Trini Boy Juicy who he thought was the Cacahole of the Week.
Although we out of time. We out of time, Martin.
I go on. Bye.
Next show. Tell us next show.
Next show. Make sure you tune into the next show. Like, subscribe, and share. This has been another episode of Slayers Hot Sauce on Carnival Slayers. So please, thank you, everybody, from myself and for everyone on the panel. Thank you for tuning in. And we look forward to seeing you guys next time. More fire to come. More fire to come.
More fire. More fire. More fire.